7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The Savachi syndrome, I'm telling you, I'm like, well, holy shit, that was crazy.
Wait for it. Thick and slick.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, episode number 210. I am your host, Travis. We are live in studio here, wrapping up all the action from round 8 of the 2022 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Series from Washougal. Across the table from me, as always, the original OG co-host, full-time co-host. It is the one and only Justin Hartzell. Hi, buddy.
What's up, bud?
Just hanging out.
Hanging out.
You know what I really hate right now, or what I really hate, is that I've gotten to the point here where I can't. When you show up, I have so much I want to talk to you about as far as like the racing side of things go, but I can't.
Yeah.
Because we got to talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get you all wound up before the show.
You think you're gonna say something that's gonna get me wound up today?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh.
We'll see.
I mean,
oh yeah, probably. Actually, yes.
You already have something in your mind that you think is gonna get
I
wound
have
up?
two things. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
I actually can't think of off the top of my head what they would be, because like I feel like yesterday was a lot of stuff going on, but I don't feel like anything you're gonna say that would wind me up. But okay, I'm interested now.
Two things.
Okay,
But
cool.
It's okay, but
All
it's
right.
fine.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that's always a real Debbie Downer, is I have to try to make small talk with other things. But
Yeah.
we are going on a trip in the fall, so that or
Yeah.
early winter, so
Yep.
that helps. We have some things
Oh yeah.
to chat about with that.
Yep.
And yeah, some other things. But yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know.
also just want to let you know, my mother listened to our show from last week, said it was possibly one of the best shows we've ever done.
She said that. So is she talking about the most recent show, or is she talking about Southwick?
I don't remember. I think it was yeah. Actually,
So it's
I
the
think
one
it was
that
Southwick.
so it's Cooksey.
Yeah, I think it was
on.
the one I was streaming on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
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 Yep.
So, all right, before we get started here, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors. So first up, I want to thank our presenting sponsors. First off, boom, Energy Fuel, which is what we have in our cups here. Best fucking drink out there. Keep yourself fueled, energized, and strong from start to finish. Pick yours up today at CoachRobStore.com. Link in the description down below. We have the Fruit Punch Blend. This is our first time trying it. It's actually very good, and it is very easy on the intake.
Yes.
It's not obviously sugary. It's not overly strong taste-wise. So me and Justin were talking. We were like, this stuff is perfect for the races because it's almost essentially how do we want to put this, like a flavored water?
Yeah, it'd be like drinking sparkling water just without the acidicness of it. So it would go down really easy, which that's the whole point. Like it's for training purposes, so you want it to go down easy. You don't want like a lot of after effect.
Basically, it's going to make it super easy for me between motos to chug down to get something in my system when it's hot.
I almost feel like this would be easier to drink than cold water even.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, obviously you want cold water because, Coach Rob debunked the theory that everybody's like, oh, yeah, warm water is better for you. And he's like, nah, it's bullshit.
When I chug this, then my Coca-Cola.
That's after. But you know how sometimes cold water, it can be kind of hard to, with this stuff, I feel like even with, you got ice cubes, but like even with it room temperature, it just go down really easy and then it's doing its job. So
I like cold beverages, so.
I mean, I do too, but like,
yeah. So anyway, so this is getting a thumbs up rating from us here. So if you are an athlete and you need this stuff is literally designed to be drank essentially between motos on hot days and stuff like that, when your body needs to work harder at cooling yourself off than it does at digesting. So this stuff is great. We're pumped to have it on the show. We're pumped to have it as a sponsor. We're pumped to have it in studio here to get energized from. I didn't check. Is there caffeine in it? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
It's too natural.
Yeah, too much organicness. But
either way, like I said, perfect for those hot race days. We actually were talking because we're going to be at Vet Fest at Redbud coming up here on the 19th of August. And we were like, I was joking with Justin. I was like, man, if it's as hot as last year, because for those of you who don't remember, I did go last year to Vet Fest, and I raced my first moto, and I went home because it was 2,000 degrees outside. Like, we were literally in the asshole of the sun. this would be perfect for that because it would be super easy to digest and make happen. So anyway, also on board with us here helping present the show, Premier Custom Trailers. If you need a trailer, commercial or residential, Premier Custom Trailers has what you need. They work with the best manufacturers in the industry and specialize in all your trailer needs. Sales, service, parts, or rentals, they do it all. PremierCustomTrailers.com, located 5 minutes south of Kalamazoo on US 131 in Schoolcraft, Michigan. They put the custom in customer service. I have one of those also. Works great, tows great. I do need some tow mirrors though. I can't see shit behind me, so I gotta buy those. I found them on eBay last night. I gotta buy them. Nice. And our final presenting sponsor, been with us since the beginning, TLR Coatings. That's why they're on the banner there, because they've been with us forever. Michigan's number Michigan's #1 custom powder coating shop. From two-tone wheels to motorcycle frames to small batch production jobs, TLR Coatings will powder coat anything the right way, as long as it's metal. If you're looking for some custom Cerakoting, they do that too. TLR Coatings, serving Southwest Michigan and the surrounding areas for over 5 years. Check them out at TLRcoatings.com or on all the social media networks at TLR Coatings. Also on board with us, Alias Sport, providing us with prizes and all our CBD needs for the fantasy show that we do during Supercross. I am a fantasy champion, by the way. I am dominating. You have 4 rounds. I don't know how many points you are behind me. You have 4 rounds.
I'll beat you. You thought you won last. You thought you beat me last week, and the only reason you beat
honestly,
me this week,
if I would have had last week stacked on top of this week, you'd be hard pressed. Unless I have a really bad round.
But that's the thing though, you didn't, and the only reason you beat me this round is because I got a fat goose egg out of Lance Kobush.
And I had a Garrett Marchbanks. It's fine. We're all
but you also got Justin Cooper first lap later.
Yes, I did. FFL. I was rooting for him to
I don't do
lead
any
that
of that
first
stuff.
lap and then go ahead and just tuck the front a little bit. Not get hurt, but just tuck the front a little bit so Jack could get by, and then we were cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Dirt Bike Depot helping us out again with some stuff for the fantasy show and helping us out bring in Kevin Moranz, who will be on the show here in just a few minutes. Also, JT Cycle on board with us. They help us out locally with all of our bike needs and things like that. Adept Creative Co. for all of our graphics needs, which, by the way, wait till you see what the old 250F will look like next year.
You got a hold of Eric?
I haven't texted him yet. I was looking on the website yesterday. They have a sick Yamaha old school graphics kit already.
Nice.
We're just going to have to drop in the logos that we got, and it's going to go beautifully with those purple bars. And then I'm going to have to call up, not a sponsor of the show, but Guts Racing, and get myself a complete Racing Solutions seat cover in the correct colorways that we need.
Maybe we can debut it when we're down in Kansas in October at a certain thing.
I don't think we're going to debut it then.
Oh, that's stupid.
I'm not going to debut it to hit the deck at a Supercross. Like, that would be dumb. It'll debut 2023. It'll be sick. Also on board with us, Gutter Worx for all of your
Gutter needs.
Seamless gutters. Isaac Nelson Designs for bringing you the Dylan Danger Zone shirt, as well as the new TLR Coatings logo. Not TLR Coatings, as well as the new Moto Aftermath Show logo. And hopefully some other logos here soon, but I gotta send him a shirt here. I gotta check into. He had a kid.
Really?
Yeah, it
That's
was
awesome.
during Supercross season.
Oh, okay.
I think April.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, so fresh dad.
Probably had his hands full for a while then.
Yep. So and then thanks to our media partner, Clutch Media. There, hopefully his foot's healed up. I need to text him too. I've been so busy, I haven't texted anybody about anything. So, if you want to support, and our final sponsor, Jesus Christ, I always forget it because I have them written over here. Like I'm fucking terrible at this. Mike's gonna shoot me, literally and metaphorically.
No pun intended on that one.
Holster Co. For all your Kydex holsters for things that go bang bang
and boom boom and beep beep and bop bop.
Or if you're in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area or somewhere of the local surrounding areas, they also do have a showroom that they sell things that go
bang bang, boom boom, bop bop, beep beep.
Yep, all that kind of good stuff. So check them out. Links for all of our sponsors in the description down below. If you want to support us, we have merch links like the Dylan Danger Zone shirt, which everybody needs to get because he is coming back for Unadilla.
So excited.
The champ is back, bitches!
So excited.
Anyway, so make sure to pick that up. You can pick up your Moto Aftermath Show shirts there too. There's Amazon links in the description. You click one of those, we get a small slice of that. There are Patreon links. Shout out to Kurtis Hodges, our one and only patron. Thank you. And make sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave us a review on the podcast side of things if you want to. Okay, so the first thing, we got about 15 minutes here, and then we're going to have Privateer Hero Kevin Moranz coming up. But we have a ton to talk about. Holster Co. Reload Rant. 450 race review brought to you by JT Cycle. 250 race review brought to you by Gutter Works. Kevin Moranz coming up brought to you by the Dirt Bike Depot. And we have World Supercross news. We have MXON, some MXON talk that we need to talk about. We have silly season stuff we need to talk about.
Yep.
We have a Feld and MX Sports collab we need to talk about.
Whatever.
That we are going to save for later because that's going to take. There's a lot to talk about there. And
It was a
that
very
also
interesting,
gets wrapped into my Holster Co. Reload rant.
It was a very interesting week in the sport of motocross. I feel that the next 2 weeks are probably, or next 2 weekends, I should say, are going to be a little bit on the tame side.
There was a lot of shit this week.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff leading pretty much from Monday to yesterday.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had nothing to do. There was a lot of stuff going on. It was a very interesting week. Obviously, everybody knows, not that we really give a shit, but, you know, for anybody that doesn't know, Loretta's is coming up soon. So I'm sure that there will be some news that'll come out of there, whether it has to do with...
So Hymas will win the A classes and Deegan wins the B classes?
I mean, I don't really see it going any other way, barring anything crazy.
Deegan, do you hear that? He's
Well, I mean, who's going to...
Nobody.
Well,
Oh, boy,
that might not be totally true.
I wasn't even planning about talking about Loretta's, but here we are. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that might not even be totally true. Evan Ferry, I watched a video of him riding at Dade City, and I should call it Dade Shitty, because if anybody that knows back in the day will know what I'm talking about. God, he looks good on that Sheriff Yamaha.
Here's my question. Where the fuck was he for the combine?
He's been hurt, dude. He's been hurt. And he also finalized the Sheriff Yamaha deal. I mean, we got to remember, Evan Ferry was the only one pretty much throughout this whole Deegan hype that was actually the only one to actually beat him consistently in the B class, and now he's healthy again because everybody's freaking out. They're like, man, he was shitty at the qualifiers. Well, apparently he's been dealing with a lot of injuries since like Mini-O's last year, and he is basically, they went in there and they're going, let's just make it through regionals.
Yeah.
And then he transferred obviously from Rockstar Husky to Sheriff Yamaha. So I wouldn't be so sure on that. I know that Deegan's the favorite because he's had all this time, you know, where he's been 100%, been down at the goat farm.
Yeah.
But if Evan Ferry's healthy, he's the one dude that I would say he's going to give Deegan fits. It just depends on if he's 100%. So
You think we're going to see him at the Indiana combine?
I think it all depends on what happens at Loretta's. I think if he goes down at Loretta's and he doesn't get hurt and he beats Deegan straight up, probably, because he'll probably go there with the intention in mind that, like, hey, now I'm going to beat you at a national, too. Because
Interesting.
anybody that doesn't know this, Evan Ferry and Hayden Deegan do not like each other. They don't like each other, which is kind of cool because if they continue this trajectory where they go tit for tat, this is kind of going to be like an actual like rivalry going into the pros.
Yeah.
And we haven't really had this since the
funny-
Michael Lessie art. Not that I'm comparing the two.
The funny thing is, too, is that they're polar opposites. So you have Deegan, who is the total social media, we'll call it prince,
Darling, yeah, whatever you want to call it.
coming
Yeah.
into this, okay? He's new school. He is taking what life gives them and the opportunities.
And then you
life
look at
give
Brian,
them.
you look at Brian and what Brian's
Yeah.
done for the sport. It's not motocross, but dirt bikes.
Yep, and then you have Evan Ferry, who's very old school, and he wants his results to do the talking.
Yep.
And
And his dad, obviously, it helps. His dad's one of the best of all time.
But let me just point this out here. What's super funny? Look where Deegan's riding. Look where Red Dog's riding.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Which proves my point that the social media thing is fucking real.
But the one thing you got to remember with why Evan Ferry is riding where he is because they own that track.
I'm just saying. No, I'm not. I'm not saying like actual riding. I'm talking what bike he's on.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he was on a factory bike.
He can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Hmm.
They went to Star.
Yeah.
And tried to get a ride.
Well,
And Star told him no.
yeah, I think that there's more to the reason why they said no. I don't think the reasoning why they said no had anything to do with his results. I think that is because there is an actual legitimate dislike between him and Deegan.
This just proves my point more. I mean, they're like, look at this cash cow we got over here in Deegan, and then look at you. Like, yeah, okay, you're putting in some results, and you're fast, and you're gonna be like he's gonna be good. I'm not gonna.
Oh, Evan Ferry's gonna be really.
He's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Better than his dad. Well, that's yet to be seen.
Yeah,
but we'll find out.
That's pretty hard. Yep.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, cool. Like, when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of things, this is exactly what I said was going to happen. It's going to transition to people with the social media following, which
Yeah.
is what Deegans have.
And
And they're the ones who now have the ride. I mean, Dude, fucking little Red Dog couldn't even get Rockstar Husky to give him a pro deal. That's why he left. And again, they can say whatever the fuck they want to try to spin that, but it's.
I think they left because there was a lot of shit.
Oh, that's rain.
Wow,
That's a lot of rain. Yeah, that's a lot of rain.
That's a lot of rain. I don't know if you guys hear that. That is.
Oh, I'm sure they hear that.
That is legitimately a lot of rain. Holy moly! Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what team Evan Ferry will end up being on because obviously Sheriff Yamaha is only an amateur deal.
Yeah.
It's like a satellite factory Yamaha team. It's still a legit team. Probably, if he decides to stay with Yamaha. Like, I'm going to assume that with what's going on with Club, he'll probably end up with Club after that. Because that's the Sheriff Yamaha team's also the same team that I think Gavin Towers is also on that team. It's an interesting thing.
That's getting hard.
Holy crap. So yeah, but anyways, sorry, that was a little bit, went off on a tangent there with that, but that's a lot of rain.
That's like, hope it's not hailing, because like, have that car sitting out there.
I don't think it's hail. I don't think we're supposed to hail. Sorry guys, like I know that this is a little ridiculous, but it is like.
Oh no, it's just rain.
There's a lot of rain going on here. We've had a lot of rain the last few days.
It's like Forrest Gump. We had light rain. We had big, heavy rain.
But I hope Evan Ferry is at the combine. I really do, because it's going to be interesting.
I hope he is too.
Because I want
to see it. Now let's put into perspective here, because I didn't think about this the other day either. So, Deegan and who was the Husky kid that was at the combine?
Talon Hawkins.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Deegan yarded Hawkins at that combine, and then Hawkins went and raced a pro race and finished 20th.
Yeah.
So where does Deegan play in then? If Deegan were to go pro right now?
Probably like 10 to 12, 11 to 12, 11 to 13. Probably.
That's all you give him?
Yeah, I don't give him inside the top 10.
Really?
No.
You don't think he's Rider D level? Rider D was in the top 10.
Yeah, but he was only in the top 10 for 20 minutes, and then he started going backwards. You got to think, like, a lot of these kids are so used to sprinting early that
he finished in the top.
He was in the top 10. He was in the top 10 the second moto, but you got to remember how far he was off at the end of that moto. These kids sprint so hard at the beginning that it is totally different when you go out there and, like, at the Moto Combine, you're doing 25-minute motos and stuff. But you got to think how hard it is, too, for these kids that doing 35-minute motos, and they talk about, yeah, we're doing 35-minute motos during the week. Well, that's one thing during the week when there's actual...
real different on race.
Yeah, and once again, too, like I said, Rider D did better than I thought he was going to do at Millville, and even the second moto Redbud for a while. But I think there's a lot more to it, and also you got to remember that second moto at Millville that he got inside the top 10. Look how many dudes were out of that moto as well.
Yeah.
Styles went out, Jalik went out, Romano and Thrasher went out. So it's like you got to look at it and go, not taking anything away from Rider D, but it's like, did he only finish inside the top 10 because 5 factory dudes, Time Master Pool, didn't race that moto? So you got to think, like, did he only get top 10? Did he really earn it? Or did he only get top 10 because of the fact that a lot of dudes went out of that moto?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's a super interesting topic to talk about. And, like, I didn't even realize. So I was listening to Gypsy Tales with Sleater this week.
Yeah.
The new one. And
I listened to a couple of the things.
I was going to say, and they were talking about it. And it didn't even click with me until they were talking about Talon Hawkins going pro and finishing 20th. And I'm thinking, holy shit, Deegan yarded. Like, fucking straight yarded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this kid goes pro and gets 20th, so where does Deegan finish? And then it's like, oh, I feel like he slots in maybe 8 to 12 range in the 250 class.
Yeah, but who are you comparing him though in that position? Like, what guys are you comparing him to? Because you also got to think too, Talon Hawkins, like what he did to Talon Hawkins.
Well, I'm just saying.
Where
did Talon Hawkins finish? Because he was on the box, even was he?
At Combine?
Yeah.
No, he was. Remember, he was running third, and then he went to scrub the finish, and then he lost traction and it pitched him.
In the second moto,
I don't know what he finished in the second.
But
moto.
I'm just saying, Deegan was 30 seconds plus up the road from him.
That also wasn't national rough though either.
I don't care. He's on the full national track. He's 30
but it wasn't
plus.
national rough.
I mean,
That's a thing.
if you were just to take it numbers by numbers, and
But motocross, we don't go number by numbers, though. I understand what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing, but look how far Talon Hawkins finished off in that 20th spot compared to everybody else. And it's like, okay, Hayden Deegan, really, really good starter. He's proven that for a long time. Sprints really hard at the beginning.
is Talon Hawkins at a facility?
No, he has a pretty sick setup at his house in California.
Oh,
But it's like, I don't know, because I feel like Deegan has the outright speed to be inside the top 10. Once again, though, it's totally different when you talk about what these kids, when they get out there and they get in the pack. And it's another thing, too, and we all know this, but they touched on this at during the broadcast at Washougal over the weekend. Legion and RV did. And they were talking about, I think it was the second 250 moto. And we'll talk about this when we do the 250 recap with J Coop, like how start dependent it is for a lot of these kids. What's it going to be like if Hayden Deegan doesn't get a start? Because we saw it with Ryder D in the two motos, the first moto at Redbud and the first moto at Millville, when he didn't get a start. No offense to a lot of these kids, and it's not a knock on them because it's not their fault that they're good starters.
But they're not Jet Lawrence. They're not coming through the pack.
But you still have to know how to come through the pack. Like,
Yeah.
that's not an excuse. Like, if you're getting 20th place starts, it's a lot harder to go through the pack at a pro national when all those dudes you're coming through the pack are fast, compared to you get a 20th place start at an amateur national and you can be in third by the end of the second lap. So, like, what happens when these kids don't get starts? And that's what happened to Talon Hawkins.
This just works right into what Sleater and Jace were talking about. There should not be, and we've talked about this before too, there should not be factory amateur kids.
Yeah.
There should be factory supported, where we can give you bikes, we can get you parts, that kind of stuff. But you should not be going to these amateur national races and racing out of a fucking semi.
I mean, perfect example, and we've seen it throughout this year with Romano and LeBlanc. Look at what happened with Romano at the beginning of
the last 5 years since we've been doing this fucking show.
But I'm talking about specifically for this year. Look at Romano, the motos that he's gotten starts, where he's ended up compared to when he hasn't gotten a good start. LeBlanc, same thing. When he's gotten a good start,
he ended up on the ground with Kitchen because he scrubbed in front of him. Fucking sweet.
Oh, a Thrasher, you mean? Yeah, but that's my point, though. A lot of these top-level amateur kids are so used to getting good starts and not having to have good racecraft.
This goes right into the thing that nobody races anymore.
Yeah.
They don't go to local races.
So what happens if Hayden Deegan gets a 30th place start at the National?
I don't know. Don't they go to races, though? I feel like I always see them...
They go to big races just like this started...
They don't go to local races, though? I feel like I've seen it. I don't know.
This started back with Eli Tomac back in 2009.
Barely is better than all these other kids that don't.
But Eli Tomac started this trend back in 2009. Before him, everybody would race every weekend.
Yeah.
Eli Tomac in 2009, before he went pro, only went to the areas, regionals, and the big nationals. And then it started to become a trend. They're like, well, we already ride so much during the week because we're at these compounds. Why would we put even more stress on our body and burn ourselves out? Just
add another thing to Tomac's resume of, like, just fucking incredible that he can fucking do that shit.
So like, that's the thing is you know, and I know that we're going to talk more and more about Deegan when he gets closer to his making his debut, and everybody's going to say that I'm hating on the kid, this and that, but it's like...
Everybody thinks you're a hater, so it's fine. Just
and
say
I
what
don't,
you want to say.
And I don't really care.
Everybody thinks that.
And I don't really care because it's like...
And it's not limited to just Deegan, it's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's valid for a lot of people because until that they've proven...
You just hate everybody, it's fine.
You hate all the people that I like, so what are you talking about?
You have a hateful soul, son.
What about you? You shit on everybody I like.
I don't know why you like me.
Not you, personally. Talking about the people that I like.
Oh.
You shit on those people all the time. That's hate.
Like who?
I don't know, Nate Thrasher.
Well, I could go through the results and tell you.
Yeah, but you've never met the kid, so why do you hate him?
I didn't say I hated him.
So what?
The results fucking suck.
Yeah, that's debatable.
Yeah.
He has 3 Supercross wins.
Outside of that, there's nothing.
Why do you hate Austin Forkner? There you go.
That's just wasted talent.
Perfect example.
That's just wasted.
Perfect example. Why do you like Cameron McAdoo? That's wasted talent.
Because I need to have a conversation with Austin Forkner about his home life choices. I could really help the kid with that. Me and Kiefer could set that kid down and really get him straightened out. Probably win a title. And then he would have to thank us.
Sure.
It would be awesome.
Whatever, dude. Anyways, it's just I don't like buying into all this amateur hype that these kids are going to go out and set the world on fire because I think it's too much pressure to put on their shoulders.
Golden Jet.
he wasn't an amateur phenom until his last year in the A class.
I know, and look at him now. It's fucking phenom. Generational fucking talent.
Yeah, whatever, dude. He also didn't win either motos yesterday, but we'll get to that.
Generational, and he still is 7 out of 8 overalls.
It's called luck.
Suck his fucking dick,
It's
bro.
called luck.
It's okay.
It's luck.
We'll take any sort of luck we can get.
Yeah. Generational talent wouldn't let Justin Cooper fucking beat him.
Generational talent, fucking 7 out of 8 overalls.
Generational talent would have ran Justin Cooper down and passed him like he was standing still. Oh, I don't like Washougal. I don't like Washougal.
He doesn't like Washougal. We still won the overall.
Yeah, because you got lucky. Yeah. It's luck. You didn't win a moto. Hey, generational talent wouldn't get beat by Levi Kitchen. Generational talent wouldn't get beat by Justin Cooper.
Look, dude, everybody beat Ricky once in a while.
Yeah, you might want to go back and check that stat.
Stu beat Ricky once in a while.
Stu is also one of the greatest of all time. Is Justin Cooper going to be one of the greatest of all time?
Fucking Red Dog beat beat RC in a moto once.
When?
At High Point, 2003. And I know this because I listen to Mathis's shit, and that's all he talks about all the time. It's how they beat Ricky in a moto once.
Pretty sure that was also a straight mud fest.
Doesn't matter. He still beat him in a fucking moto, dude.
Is Justin Cooper going to be as good as Tim Ferry?
Even the greats get beat.
Is Justin Cooper going to be as good as Tim Ferry at the end of his career?
I don't know.
No.
Probably. He's already got the same amount of titles as Tim Ferry.
Yeah.
And he actually won a fucking Supercross race when he won his title.
Cool.
Tim Ferry did not.
Cool.
Tim Ferry won a Supercross title.
Cool. Tim Ferry also rarely ever finished outside the top 5 in points either in his career.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
no.
Dude, I'll bet you Justin Cooper's stats in the small bike class are better than Ferry's.
What's going to happen when he goes to the 450 class?
Well, that's a good... We can talk about that here soon, too, because there was... Somebody asked him about next year.
Like I said, 450s are really the only thing they remember when you get
I'm hearing different things now, so... all right, let's take a break here, and we will get into... We're going to call up Privateer Hero Kevin Moranz, and then we'll get into the rest of the show, so we will be right back.
All right, man, we're back. First guest of the night brought to you by our friends at the Dirt Bike Depot. If you need some new moto gear but don't want to pay those expensive retail prices, shop Dirt Bike Depot for all your moto gear needs. Gear sets, boots, helmets, goggles, and more. They specialize in athlete-only boots as well as a ton more items that you can't buy in stores. Follow them on Instagram at Dirt Bike Depot and DM them with any questions you may have. It is Dirt Bike Depot rider and friend of the show, Privateer Hero, Mr. Kevin Moranz.
Well, I appreciate that.
So, Mr. Kevin Moranz, how was your Washougal experience?
Could have been better, if I'm going to be really honest. But other than that, made better progress with the bike. We ended up going, because obviously I've just kind of been struggling to turn quite a bit compared to years past. So I've been racing at the second line on the forks. So I went ahead and I went to the third line on the forks. So that helped even more, because I think it was actually at Red Bud is when we went from the first line to the second line. So now we've gone from the second line to the third line. So we're just sucking the forks up more to bring my front end down to allow me to carve into corners a little bit easier. So that worked well. Other than that, running inside the top 20 in both motos at the beginning. And for whatever reason, from like the 5-minute mark to the 15-minute mark, is trash for me. So I'll go from 16th, 17th to 24th, 25th, and then come on super good at the end of the motos and get back to 21st, 22nd. So not ideal. I really need to figure out that early moto not tightening up and pumping up early and then getting back into my flow later. Like I need to have my flow the whole time. So that's kind of the biggest problem for me right now. But other than that, solid showing, I guess we could say. Definitely not happy with it, but can't be down on it as well.
It's because Kev's like the Energizer Bunny. He just gets better as the moto goes on.
Well, and we had those epic
Battles.
Walker Moranz battles
just
all
fucking
day.
all the time. Jesus, you guys are like
Were
magnets.
you watching it?
You guys are like fucking
Dude,
magnets.
well, since scoring and timing was actually working this week, yes,
please
I
don't go on a rant
I
with
could
that.
keep track of where you were.
Dude, so funny story. I actually got a video of me talking to Jeff about this. So, like, he came up and passed me straight up, and it would be, like, I don't know when it was in the moto, but I was like, damn. Like, dude's, like, going. And it kind of like, I was like, Kev, like, what is going on with you? And sure enough, dude, I just start tracking him down later in the moto, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I hit that 5 to 15-minute mark is not good for me right now. I don't know what it is. I just keep getting worked up, pumped up, tightening up, and then flowing out towards the end of the moto. So during my little fiasco at the beginning of the moto, he comes up, passes me, and kind of keeps going forward. So I kind of lose track of him a little bit, and then sure enough, 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, I start tracking him down, and I see him. Dude, like, I don't know, like, it's kind of, it irritates me that we always find each other on the track, because, like, last year, it was never a thing for me. So, I mean, he definitely stepped up his program. But when I was catching up to him, I was like, okay, like, Kev, like, you're catching up to him, like, you got this. I was kind of battling with him and trying to find a way around him, and then we started getting lapped. And when we got lapped by, I think it was Tomac and Sexton, then I don't know who because I think we only got lapped by like 3 people, and I think Anderson was the next one to come up. So as soon as Anderson goes around me, obviously then he has to go around Jeff. So he's getting around Jeff, and I'm like trying to latch on to El Hombre's rear wheel, because I just knew in the back of my head, if I get up on him and pressure him and give him the old panic grab, like, hey, I'm here to lap you, he's going to get out of the way. Sure as shit. Get up there, give him the panic grab, he gets out of the way and sees that it's me, and he was so pissed off. I was like, let's go!
Kev's fucking yelling at his helmet.
That's awesome. That is awesome. What did you have for a crew this week out there at the old Washougal, Washington?
So we had Isaac, which, sorry by the way, if it just got kind of loud. It's starting to rain. But we had Isaac on board, who is kind of he's fresh out of MMI, so didn't have any super quality experience as far as race goes. But no, he did an awesome job. So he was solid there. His girlfriend Sophie had a headset on, so like they were talking to each other. So she was relaying messages like, "Hey, he's getting ready to come over the finish line, time, place, stuff like that." We had Kendall, who came out with the collective experience to do some photos, and then we had Austin with, I'm gonna butcher his. It's like Austin Lemunion Films or something like that. Lemunion Films, I don't know, something like that. But he came out to do the vlog stuff, so we're keeping the vlog alive with him. So overall, was a pretty solid little group.
Did we have any Friday fiascos this week?
No, man. That's the easiest round I've ever had, because where was it? Where was the last round? Millville. So Millville, we changed the oil and did all that stuff at the races at Millville before I loaded the bike. So I got to Washougal, obviously, this weekend. I flew in Friday just because the flights were so expensive to get out there. I didn't want to come out there a day early and spend more money on a hotel. So flew in Friday morning, got up at like 3 a.m. my time, which is 1 a.m. Washougal time. Flew out there, got all the bike ready and whatnot, was gone by, like, I got there at maybe 10-ish, 11, probably 11, and I was gone by like 2:30, so I was stoked with that. And then, yeah, just went back to the hotel, chilled out, went and got some dinner, passed out early, like 9:30, just because it was like, obviously, it's like 11:30 my time, at least what I'm used to. So, yeah, got to bed early for a change, and then, yeah, it was a pretty solid day as far as the bike goes. So another thing we did too. So you know how we got a flat last week, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I looked at the tire. Obviously, I mean, after the moto, I was just full on teardown mode after Moto 2 in Millville. But it was, my rear tire had a knobby cut off, and right after the knobby was a big gash all the way through the tire. So it wasn't like a pinch flat or anything. Like, I had to have hit something sharp.
Huh. That's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. So, but that being said, we put a bib in or a moose in or whatever in the rear this weekend.
Do you feel the difference on that?
to be really honest with you, I didn't get to ride it back to back, like a tube to then a bib. So, or to a moose. I don't know what you call them, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't get to ride them back to back, so I honestly couldn't really tell you much. I didn't feel anything too crazy different. I felt pretty normal to me. One thing that he said, which I kind of noticed, is like when you get into the choppier stuff, a tire with a tube in it rebounds a little bit more, right? Because it squishes into the tube that has air in it and then wants to press back. When you have like that foam bib insert or moose insert or whatever, it's a little bit more of a dead feel. So it kind of tracks over the sharp edges and stuff a little bit better, which I wanted to say I kind of felt. So it was pretty good.
So that's interesting because don't a lot of people run the mooses
Pretty much
outdoors?
Pretty much everyone runs it.
So
Yeah, pretty much a majority of their top guys, I think, all run the moose in the rear.
I mean, they've been doing that for 12 years now, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's interesting that you ran a tube where everybody else was running the moose. So
Yeah, for how long now?
yeah, and you haven't really had issues, and obviously that doesn't sound like a normal tube issue. That's more of a well, we hit something. Something caught us. So
some metal on the track.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Super interesting. So what do we got? What's planned for the off weeks here?
So, finished cleaning up around the house. We've been doing a lot of projects and everything. I got to get the water truck back up and going. We are getting plans together for the Supercross track build. But other than that, I think there's going to be a big ride day, I believe, at Benny Bloss's place Saturday, Sunday.
I heard
this
that.
coming weekend.
Heard
so
that.
should be good. From who?
Benny.
Oh, you talked to him?
Nah, I heard it in a post-race interview.
Wow.
Nah,
Travis,
me and Benny aren't tight like that.
Oh, I got you.
Me and Hunter.
Like, damn,
Me and Hunter are tight though. We're like best friends.
Hunter doesn't fucking like you.
We're best friends.
You friends with Faulkner too?
No, me and Hunter though are best
You
friends.
friends with Faulkner too?
Yeah, it's fine.
Whatever.
So,
yeah,
so you're
that's
going.
the plan is
Yeah.
what?
So you're going to Benny's. Got it.
Yes, that's the plan for this coming weekend. Until then, it's going to be more of a chill mode and get my act together as far as my body. That way I'm not taken out at that 5-minute mark to 15-minute mark.
You know what it is? Kev's not eating enough bread.
Yeah, you really need some more carbs in your life.
Dude, honestly, maybe that could be it. I
Kev's
don't
not
know.
getting bread anymore. It's pissing him
I
off.
miss rice. Like bread, I don't think I'll ever go back to eating as much bread as I used to eat.
It's probably a good idea.
But I miss rice, man. Like when I go to Chipotle, it's so much worse with just beans.
Hey, man, all I'm saying is the amount of sandwiches I saw you eat in the couple times you were here last year, I was like, that is impressive for a professional athlete to be eating that many sandwiches.
Yeah, it definitely caught up with me in a negative way.
You're definitely a lot more ripped now than you were when you were here last year.
Yeah, dude, that's what everybody's been saying, so I appreciate that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still a little guy, but you're
Wow.
but you're a lot more ripped than you were.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Bro, I come from the bodybuilding world. Leave me alone.
Whatever, Travis.
Okay.
Whatever you're going to tell yourself, buddy.
Look, moto guys, 99% of them, outside of the dudes on steroids, a la Chase Sexton, are stick figures, okay?
Wait, what'd you just say?
I said 99% of the moto guys,
You know who wasn't
a
a
la,
stick?
except for
You know who wasn't
steroid people,
You know who
Chase
wasn't a stick?
Sexton.
You know who wasn't a stick figure though?
Who is this?
Weston
Who
Pike.
said this?
What?
No, this is Travis's opinion.
Who said that Chase is on steroids? Have you seen that
Yeah.
guy?
Oh, I was like,
Have you seen that guy? He is jacked, okay?
His forearms are still small.
You show me. Even Tomac is not jacked like he is jacked.
Because Eli doesn't take steroids.
Kenny isn't either. Like
Well, Kenny's
Kenny
fragile.
and Eli are like shredded, but they don't have size. Sexton has a size to him that's not just like his body. If he's doing everything, either that or he's getting his cardio through weightlifting. One of the two.
No, he's a cycler, bro. He's a cycler.
If he's a cycler,
You know he's on roids.
then he's definitely on roids because
Hey,
trust me.
Malcolm.
I know how this fucking works. Malcolm might be the only other person that it looks like that, and I'm not sure.
Malcolm might be taking roids, but he's pretty yoked.
Look,
I think Malcolm's always kind of been thick.
I
though.
was gonna
he's
say,
been. Yeah, dude, you should have seen him when he was an amateur, man. He was a chunky butt.
he's a thick boy.
Yeah, but he was real thick back in the day. Like, it was fat, actually.
Well,
I mean, he still won a bunch of
he has
titles. in the B
transitioned
class.
that into a very chiseled dude, but
Yeah.
there's only yes, you are correct now saying that him and Sexton are the only two to me that look like that, and then you have the complete opposite end of the spectrum, a la Volin, Marvin, those kind of people that
It's a
are just
KTM thing.
twigs,
It's a KTM thing.
and then you have like Kev, who's kind of like in the middle. Okay, like
Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment, I guess.
you're in the middle like a Tomac, like a Kenny, where like you're pretty ripped, but you're not like a twig, but you don't look like you're doing steroids.
Yeah, nobody likes
Yeah.
nobody likes steroid guy.
Look,
Oh, man, that's
steroids
funny.
are fine except for the ass acne.
And the shriveled ball sack.
That's a little bit of a problem too.
Except
Whoa.
for the what?
The shriveled ball sack. Yeah, roids will do that to you.
Ooh.
Yeah,
All right, this one off.
we're way off the deep end.
I mean, this is for another podcast, but this
Yep.
is not what Kev's on here for.
Yeah. So, Kev, you're gonna send me over pictures of those blueprints for the Supercross track, so I can see what I'm getting into here when I come up.
No,
or-
we need. I need to work on it though. Me and the track builders plan on having some kind of discussion. Probably, honestly, in this little break, that we will kind of game plan a little bit better because right
Look.
now we don't really have a plan as far as track design.
There's got to be a quad at some point. There just has to be a quad in there somewhere.
for me to look at and be like, "Wow, that's a quad."
Feel like, wow, I'm gonna go around that.
I'm gonna go around that one for sure. Make sure there's a lane next to the whoops because I'm not going through those.
No, your
I
suspension would
cannot
kill you.
wait to watch you ride this track.
This is gonna be awesome. I'm so pumped to come down and do this. I'm gonna do 2 days of just fucking full on training. We're gonna ride 20.
You really think you're gonna put 2 days on a Supercross track, or you think you're gonna do like 3 laps and be like, "Yep, not for me"?
Oh no! We're doing 2 days.
Oh my god,
20 plus twos.
Kev, you are not doing 20 minutes on a Supercross track,
Fuck
even
yeah.
if you're rolling
I
everything.
can roll around for 20 minutes.
That gets real hard. Real
I'm a
quick.
fucking athlete.
Oh my
okay?
God.
I'm a fucking athlete.
Kev, I'll have 911 on standby.
We're gonna cycle. We're gonna do a whole bunch of shit. It's
So
gonna
that's
be
what
awesome.
he means by 2 days of training. Most of his training is going to come from cycling and doing
weightlifting.
crunches.
Because Kev's got a gym at the house.
Look, you can
Yeah,
do.
what do you mean, Justin? You not coming? Like you're gonna be the ambulance standby. You're ready to drive.
Yeah.
Drive to the hospital.
Yeah.
Look, dude, I got the mount on the camera, so you can have the phone on standby for 911 while holding the camera to watch me crash. And then after I'm done moving, then you hit the 911 button. It's super simple. That way, because don't be one of those guys that as I'm crashing, the camera just goes, "Oh shit!" and like,
No,
all
I'll
over.
stand there and watch you eject,
We
though.
need
I will-
to get the whole thing on camera and then push
Look,
911.
bro,
I'll be fine.
I have no qualms with watching you ragdoll over a triple. I will stand there
look,
and watch you just
I
hit
pretty
the ground.
much need lines around every section other than maybe the tabletops.
You know what that's called? The water truck lane.
Yes. So I need a water truck lane everywhere other than maybe the tabletops. This is going to be great. I'm pumped for this.
You're a fucking
2
guy.
days.
You better have that FC suspension on there before
I
they go.
am a fucking athlete,
You're gonna
dude,
die.
and this is going to be awesome.
You're gonna fucking die,
Not many people get to say they could do this kind of shit, and I'm about to do it.
and then you're never gonna do it again.
I've never been to Kansas before either.
Never been to Kansas before?
Well, I might have been. Oh no, I was. I went to Kansas City ride. I lied. I have been to Kansas. Haven't been to Topeka before.
Why'd you say it like that?
What?
Why did you say Topeka?
Topeka. I don't know.
Kev stopped listening. He's just not even listening anymore. Nope, he's gone.
He's gone.
Kev's what?
What? We're like, Kev's not even listening anymore. He's not even here. I don't know.
Yeah, I am actually.
Sweet. Yeah. So, yeah, dude, I'm pumped about this. This is going to be great. I can't wait to see the blueprints.
Oh my god.
I might build
Honestly,
one.
me too, though.
I might build one here.
Okay.
Do it that way, and then I can come out and train there.
I'll hit up that. I got to hit up Noah Shuring there and see if his is done. Somebody told me the other day it was, so I don't know. Remember that one we went and checked out in the back of that cornfield?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Somebody the other day told me that one's done too. So I need to text him and see if it's done.
Done like they bulldozed it, or done like they finished?
No, done like they finished it, but I don't know.
Nice.
He's going to Loretta's, isn't he?
Yeah, the B class.
Yeah, he's going to Loretta's, so I doubt he's riding it. I don't know. I'll text
What class?
B class.
450B, 450B mod, and I think 450B stock.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll find out because then if you're coming up for what is it, Buck Bash or whatever.
If he's not in California.
Yeah, do you have a date on Buck Bash?
No, end of October usually.
Probably gonna be around the same time as last year, Kev.
Yeah.
I don't remember what time it was last year that we did
I
it.
think it's like the third weekend of October.
Yeah, usually like October, early October, 21st, 22nd, something like that.
Okay.
We might see Kev twice in October.
We need to have Kev on a 450 for that one though, because like as sick as that content on the 150 was.
No, the 150 is way better because him.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're
Walker's
actually going to be...
No, go ahead, bud.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say
Okay.
Walker's ripping this year. I don't know if Kev can. I don't know if Kev can walk Walker on a 150 right now. I mean, they're battling on the weekends when he's on his. No offense, Kev, but like you walk.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I got to give props to Jeff. Like, he stepped his game up.
Yeah, so we need you on the 450 so we can just you can go out there, put the beat down, and then just be like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you gotta bring that 150 because I do need to ride that
Oh my God.
before the track gets tore up.
We're getting ready to do a full on, like, not rebuild like internal, but I'm gonna do a whole new plastic kit and graphics kit on it.
Yeah,
We're going with a teal setup, so it's gonna be pretty sweet.
sick. Yeah, because I didn't ride that last year because the track was way tore up by the time I was gonna ride that.
Oh yeah, trust me, you'll ride it this weekend, that's for sure. Hey, check your text messages.
I can't. My phone is 1,000 feet away from me, dude.
I think is he talking?
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I thought he was talking
Sorry, it's way over in the other part of the shop. It's not by me because otherwise we don't have service. So
No, okay.
Gotcha.
that's why I got a 50-foot aux cord coming.
I like it.
So, all right, buddy. Well, thank you for coming on, man. Enjoy your time off. I'm sure we'll chat here in the next couple weeks while you're off. So,
Sounds like a plan, my man. I'll talk to you guys soon.
all right,
see you, buddy.
Later, buddy.
Alrighty, bye.
All right, Kevin Moranz, brought to you by the Dirt Bike Depot, everyone. Dude, I cannot wait to go fucking train for 2 days on Supercross. Wouldn't it be cool?
I'm gonna tell you this right now, and this is not me trying to be a dick. It's just being real with you.
I think you're a dick all the time, so it doesn't
Yeah,
really
I mean,
matter.
so are you. So it's fine. It's just our
Fine.
relationship.
It's no big deal.
I think you'll be able to make. I think you'd be able to make it around there without hitting the ground because you know your limits. But I will tell you this: you probably will only make 4 laps and realize how hard it is to actually ride a Supercross, like a legit Supercross track. I'm not saying you're going to give up, but like after 4, maybe 5 or 6 laps, even rolling shit, you're going to realize how hard it is to ride a legit Supercross track.
I will tell you this. I feel, and we've had this conversation before, that I can go around a lot of it doubling it.
Yeah. But even that though is like
Yes.
it's very hard.
Yes.
It's very even
And
if the
I'm
suspension.
aware. I'm
and
aware.
that's why I'm
You
saying
know that I'm
I know
aware.
you that, and that's why I said you know your limits. And even if we have the suspension done, where it's obviously not Supercross suspension, but even like doubling shit because of how lip the faces are, and even if you downside it smoothly, like it's gonna be rough. And I think more than anything, I don't think your cardio will not be the issue. You're gonna realize how quickly you pump up on a Supercross track.
Yes.
And that'll be your thing. And that's why I say that, like, I give it like 6 or 7 laps and you realize not that you couldn't go anymore. You'll probably just go, I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, we'll see. We're going to have 2 days.
But I will give you the
plan
credit.
is to go
I
down
think
for
that
2
you
days.
know your limits enough where you will not crash. I think at some point you will crash, but it won't be hard. But I think you will also realize after about 6 or 7 laps, you'll be like, I don't really know if I want to keep going right now.
Here's where I'm the most nervous, okay? I feel like everybody talks about the Supercross triples like the easiest thing to do. Because you can literally just
There's so
sit
much
at the
of a
bottom
face,
and
yeah.
just whop and
It's-
like do it. And
yeah.
so it's like, okay, end of day 2, I'm, we'll call it comfortable enough to be like riding around or whatever. Am I going to be like, man, I should probably just hit that once? But then, like, what if something goes wrong? Like,
The
that
one
could be
thing
a
that you're going to have to
problem.
work on, the one thing you're going to have to work on, and I've told you this a lot, and I can point to this right there with, I can point to this right there without how high your chest is compared to where your arms are.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
When you hit a triple,
I don't want to talk about it.
yeah, when you hit a triple though, if you're in that position,
I don't want to talk about that position right there
You're
because
gonna-
I've seen a lot of pictures of myself riding, and it's not
your
good.
chest is too high. You're going to realize how bad that is. That's when it could go wrong. If you are in that position when you hit a triple. If you come in where you're a little bit more loose, I think you'd be fine. But that's like you talking about it could go wrong.
Yeah.
That's where it'll go wrong because of how hard your suspension.
Dude, I hope there's an
compresses.
on-off at the end of one of the sections because that's something I think would be fun to do.
I'm going to assume so because like I don't feel like
I'm just
Kev
saying
will
I
make-
need it at the actual
Oh.
end of a section so that I can like roll through the whole thing and like then try to jump on and off of
Just
something.
Don't clip the landing with your rear wheel.
I
before.
know. Like I said, I'm nervous.
You're just gonna see like
I'm nervous that like the first day I'm gonna be really like relaxed and like okay cool like just roll in and we doubled that, okay that's cool, and we doubled that, and then like the second day I'm gonna be like I could probably do that, and
Look,
then
wherever
like do
Kev's,
something and
wherever
fucking,
Kev's going and where he's getting that pocket, go to the left of that.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be fun because there's not a lot of guys who are
Get to ride a legit Supercross.
who
track.
who
Unless
are
you live in California.
beginner guys. Yeah, but even in California, you have to
have a
know
license.
somebody.
I am curious though if he's going to. I would assume he's going to invite more people. Like you're going to be
yeah.
the only person there that doesn't probably.
Oh,
well,
no.
actually, you said this. You're going to be the only person that doesn't have
Have
a pro car
Supercross license,
that's
yeah,
going to be able to
do
ride.
that.
But I'm
Yeah.
curious. Like, is Benny going to be there?
Oh, I'm sure Starling will be there. I'm
Well,
sure Benny will
Starling-
come up.
I mean, Fortner might be there. Like, I'm curious.
Boy, this could be a lot of fun.
I'm curious how many people are actually going to show up because Kev is friends with enough people. Like, I feel like it's going to be like a mini privateer day, which will make content if he's having content because you know he's going to.
Yeah.
It'll make it that much better. Because I mean, it's going to be. I mean, Bogle might show up.
Yep. This could be cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
it'll
But
be interesting.
It'll be fun for us. We got to figure out when we're going to go, though. Like, when I can get... Because, dude, he's like 10 hours from us.
I know that.
So that's like...
Kansas is not just
It's like a
hop,
drive...
skip, and a
it's-
jog.
I was going to say, it's like a drive down, a drive back day, and then 2 days of being there. So, essentially, it's like 4 days. I got to try to figure out how the fuck I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. All right, let's get into the show here. So, first up... Let's do our review first, and then we'll talk about our other stuff. So 450 review from Washougal here, brought to you by our friends at JT Cycle, serving Battle Creek, Michigan for over 30 years. Stop in to check out their full selection of Beta, Gas, Husky, and Suzuki motorcycles and power sports products. Oh, also Kawasaki's now.
Yep.
Almost forgot that.
Kawasaki.
Need something for around the house to help keep things nice and trimmed up? They have that too with a full lineup of Echo, Aaron's, Gravely, and Simplicity. Visit jtcycle.com or follow them on Instagram at jtcyclebc. All right, 450 class here. Well, dude,
It took 9 motos.
okay. Took 9 motos.
I'd be super
But we
upset with you
stopped
right
it.
now. I'm going to super upset with you right now if you do what everybody did on Vital yesterday and you go, oh my God, he broke him. He broke Eli Tomac. Don't give me that
Well-
shit. Don't give me that shit. I'm going to get super
What
upset with you
happened-
right now.
What happened the first moto, though?
Eli Tomac won.
No. I'm not talking about that.
Oh.
Eli Tomac fell over.
Oh.
When was the last time you saw Eli Tomac fall over in an outdoor race?
That's a good question.
When I saw that...
Yeah, but that wasn't like...
First off, that was a fucking clown show watching those two get up and try. And
no,
on
what's a
top-
clown show is the fact that they spent that much time on the ground fucking around with their bikes and they still had a 15-second gap over Anderson.
And then, did you see? In 4 laps, they'd put it back to
Put it at
35
30.
seconds.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
Yeah, no, that's that
just
was
shows the pace.
I was just laughing. I was
But-
like, Jesus Christ.
But let's go back here.
Mm-hmm.
What I just said. You can't even think of a time that we've seen Eli Tomac tip over.
You would
And
probably have to go back all the way to
2015 when he wrecked his fucking shoulders.
I would probably have to go all the way back to like 2018 where he crashed. I mean, I'm sure that he's crashed at some point that we're missing.
Yeah, I mean, probably. But
I
it
mean, it was
doesn't.
just a tip over, though.
Okay, it was just a tip over. But what was it just a tip over?
Yeah, but dude, it's
We
because-
don't see that. And it wasn't like,
It's 'cause
okay,
they're-
it wasn't a downhill corner
No.
or anything. It was a flat fucking corner.
Yeah.
And he just tipped over.
I mean, Hunter did the same thing.
And
though.
what? Yeah, okay, but that's a 250 class. That's
Yeah.
not Eli Tomac.
Yeah.
This, I'm in a vacuum here of
Okay.
Eli Tomac.
Yeah.
We don't see this. And
Yeah, but
now
it's
what
not
are
like
we
this is-
seeing?
but it's one time though. This
Now
year.
what are we seeing? Yes, but now we've had what is it? Two motos in a row, 3 motos in a row now that he has had.
Well, 4 motos.
Well,
Going
we'll call
back to
it
the first
two that Chase has been on his ass the entire time. I mean, legitimately on his ass. And already here in the second moto, we see him tip over. And dude, when that happens, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it doesn't happen again.
I don't
But
think
all
so
I'm
either.
saying is, if this happens again this year, like say we go to the next couple and you see Chase right on his ass like that,
Yeah,
and he tips over again, you're going to have to start thinking like, dude, maybe having someone who is on your ass like that, maybe it's cracking him a little bit. I'm not going to go full bore right now.
They were
I'm
both
just saying,
they were
it's a
both
thing.
sketchy, both motos. I mean, even Chase.
Man,
Look how many times. And see, here's the thing, though.
There were a lot
and
of times
Chase,
my
this was
butthole puckered.
This was different though, because I always talk about Chase mentally, where he doesn't use his brain, where he's so talented.
Yeah.
This was him riding over his fucking head. Because I think a lot of people, my opinion, when Chase has crashed a lot in the past couple of years, it hasn't because he's been riding over his head. It's because he's not using his brain. And people are like, well, that's the same thing. No, it's not. There's a difference between just reacting and then pushing so far into your red zone that you can't process things going on around you.
Yep.
And yesterday, Eli, same thing. But Chase, same thing, both motos. Chase, I have not seen him that out of control for an entire moto.
Dude, there was a lot of sketchy shit yesterday, though, in both races. So
yeah, but that's the thing, though. That shows you how high those two are pushing right now.
But I'm not just talking about with those two. I'm talking about with a lot of people. Like, okay.
Yeah, I don't really care about the other people, though. That's that
floater jump in the back.
Yeah.
The way that lip was throwing guys, like, the way they were jumping it, it was not the way it's been in years past. Because it was almost like kicking them. It was a super weird. But if you watched it, and even I noticed this being a fucking... The squid ass I am, like, it was throwing them weirdly to the point that I was like,
are you talking about the wall jump into the sand?
No, I'm talking about the floater, like
coming off Horsepower Hill.
Yeah, I think so. That floater, like big ass double that everybody whips over there going into the back.
Yeah, before you hit the left hander at the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't.
It threw them really fucking weird. It like made their ass end come up. It was super weird. And then, like I said, there was a lot in both classes of guys were doing weird stuff.
If we're talking about this vacuum, though, with just Eli and Chase.
Okay, all right, yeah, we can go back to that.
No, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but if we're talking about them two, it's because they're pushing so fucking hard. And somebody made the comment yesterday, I don't know who it was, that they weren't comparing these two because even though as successful as Eli has been, we still know that it's hard to put them with Stu and Ricky. But this is the first time since the Stu RC days that the top two guys
have yarded everyone
this
hard.
This far ahead of third place, and not only that, been able to do this pace for essentially 3 straight rounds.
I'm not gonna lie. Did you see Tomac after that first moto yesterday?
No, I didn't watch any of the interviews afterwards.
It wasn't the interview. They showed him sitting down afterwards.
Yeah, but
and
he did this at Millville though too.
I know. I'm just saying it, but it looked. It wasn't normal.
I mean, he's almost
okay,
30.
Cool. Well, I know. I'm just saying, like,
I feel weird that this is me defending Eli because this is something I've never done before.
I know, and
but
but
it's weird. It's weird for me, but I feel like I have to because I know you're not. I know you're not trying to take shots at Eli. I know that's not what it is, but you're defending more of Chase, and I feel like I almost have to defend Eli because it was 1 out of 9 motos, man. Look, he has pushed Eli the farthest we've seen Eli push probably since that 20.
Eli has said that these are the hardest motos he's had to ride.
It's probably been since 2017 when Marv rocked off 3 overalls in a row. Remember when Marv did that in the middle of the season? Mm-hmm. Eli still won the title, so it didn't matter. But Marv went on that stretch in the middle of 2017 where he just straight up beat Eli. So it's probably been since then. And then obviously we know the year before when Kenny just slapped around Eli, but that was a different thing. But it's like, I feel like I have to defend Eli in the sense that I get it. This pressure has been coming for the last 5 to 6 motos, but mostly the last 4. But it's 1 out of 9 motos that Chase has won. And I understand you can talk about that first moto at Millville, but it's like he still didn't win, though. So you can say coulda, shoulda, woulda, and he had the lead, and I get that. But how many times could we say over, and I know that I go to this all the time, how many times was Stu ahead of Ricky, and he just couldn't put it together for the entire moto?
But there's a lot of stats out there saying that this is, like, slightly different. I mean, Eli has had the most moto wins without taking the lead of the championship. Sexton has scored the most points to be in second place in the championship at this point. Like, there's all these stats that's like, man, this is but I mean, the winner in all of this, in all of it, is us watching because it's fucking awesome. Like, it's not a normal season where, like, you just have a dude running away from everyone where, like, he might get a bad start and he's got to come through the pack, but then he does, like, by halfway and then he's fucking gone. And the rest of the motos, he gets a start and he's just fucking gone. It's like, we have 30 minutes plus 2 laps, essentially 35 minutes of these dudes just fucking battling. And every time you think, like, one of them's going to pull away, the other one just like boom kicks it in the ass and pulls back up on him. I mean, it was great racing yesterday. I don't know if I fully agree with you that Sexton looked out of control. I thought he looked sketchy, but I thought Jet looked sketchy yesterday, and Jet is fucking smooth. Like, I feel like it was just the track. From what I heard, they brought in all new dirt, and it's fucking been nothing but rain. Imagine that. The Northwest, it's raining, and that was what made it different. Even Savacci mentioned in his post-race interview, like, it was weird. The dirt was weird. So
I just think yesterday that Chase. We keep talking about how
I think there's a transfer of power happening, dude. Like,
but I don't. But see, here's the thing, though. You keep saying that, and I get where you're coming from, but it doesn't really matter if Chase doesn't win this title. You could say that you could say in the sense that this is things to come because we know that Eli, unless something crazy, which who knows, we've talked about maybe Jet coming up will be the reason to keep Eli around. But Eli's not racing outdoors next year. We know he's doing just Supercross.
Out.
So maybe that's where you could say, okay, it's a big deal because then Chase is going to be the guy until like
dude,
Dylan.
It's going to be sweet to see Honda go 1-2 in the 450 class next year.
That's hold on on that one.
1-2.
Hold on.
Fucking incredible.
You still have the returning champion to worry about.
Fucking incredible.
You still have the returning champion.
Oh, we're not worried about that at all.
Why would you not be worried? He won last year.
Nah, I'm not worried about that at all.
Why?
First off, we have Jet Lawrence.
Okay, so why would you not be worried about the returning champion?
Because we have Jet Lawrence.
What does that have anything to do with Dylan? What does that have anything to do with Dylan?
Look, if you want me to pick Jet or Dylan, I'm going to go with Jet every time.
Who's got a 450 title? Dylan does. Jet can't even fucking win a moto yesterday. I don't know where you're coming
Still
from.
won
with
the
that.
overall.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter.
We're 7 for 8.
Yeah, and he also didn't win, and he got smoked. My point is that I don't that's even if Eli's not there, Dylan is still.
I told you I'd get you fired up tonight.
Yeah,
dude.
because that's an asinine comment.
Dylan's going to be good. Oh, we get to Dylan.
Dylan fucking whooped everybody last year.
Yeah, okay.
You want to go back and look at the stats?
He did.
He did. So
he would not whoop everyone this year.
I didn't say he would, but to think though that he still wouldn't be contending for this title is a little disrespectful.
Maybe.
No, he would be. Because there were times last year where you looked at it and going, yeah, Dylan, what happens if he got start? Mm-hmm. He was catching people from 15th. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that would be a big problem for him this summer.
It would be.
A big problem.
It definitely would. I don't disagree. But my point is that we didn't last year see what would happen if Dylan got a start. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's a little...
Dylan doesn't get starts, though, so like that
he doesn't.
is hard to fight.
But it's very disrespectful to say that, the 2021 champion wouldn't have anything for these guys.
I'm not sure.
It's
questionable.
I don't think it's questionable.
It's questionable.
I don't think it's questionable. It's super disrespectful to say that. It really is.
I'm not... No.
It really is. It is. It is. Because you don't think
that's disrespectful, but saying that like fucking none of these guys would have anything for Hurlings anywhere is because not disrespectful. Because
Hurlings is
we're talking out both sides of our mouth.
Because Hurlings has proved time and time again that when he's on, who's beat him? When he's
Cooper Webb
on a 250.
Cooper Webb.
We're talking about a 450.
And Cooper Webb's not even riding outdoors.
Yeah, we're talking about 450s.
It's on maternity leave.
We're talking about 450s. Hurlings when he's 100%. You couldn't even name a handful. You couldn't name on one hand.
Timmy G.
Not when he's 100%. Hurlings every time has been 100%, has beat Tim Geiser in a championship. So, yeah. You couldn't name on one fucking hand the amount of guys that when Hurlings is 100% that have straight up just beat him. Seriously. You can't. I'm dead serious. You can't. 100%, not a handful. You couldn't name 5 guys. 5 dudes.
Doing this is a weird position to be doing to me, okay?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to grab my boobs? I'm confused.
I'm just telling you, when you bring in the Hurlings thing...
I feel like that sexual assault, I'm going to have to talk to HR.
Oh, God. When you bring in the Hurlings things, I have to check you a little bit, because it's proven when he's 100%, you can't name 5 dudes that have beat him straight up.
100% time is like... 30% of the time, he's 100% it.
He also wins championships. Doesn't matter.
That's like 50-50. I heard that stat, too. That,
What?
He's healthy. I think it was like 50% of the time.
Yeah. No, he definitely
like 50% of the time. 50% of his 450 career, he's been healthy and he's won the title. So you essentially with Hurlings, you got like a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, but I'll take that because it's like if I know that dude can stay healthy, he's literally won both championships.
That's the thing. I know he can't stay healthy. So and you cannot argue that.
No, you can't. That is legit fact. But anyways. Yeah, I don't think Chase broke Tomac. I don't, because it didn't matter. It took 9 motos for him to finally get it done. And you can, like I said, we can talk about that first moto at Millville, but the fact is he didn't get it done. And yes, he won the overall. He split the motos. He got it back to 5 points. But it's like, I can't take how that would be confidence for him. And maybe he can spin it in his own mind because he's young and that's how his brain works. But he still has to realize that 8 of the previous motos, he didn't beat him. Unless he's just blind and he just is not thinking about that, which who knows? Maybe that's what he has to do to keep himself motivated to, like, he can win this. But if I'm him, I'm thinking, yeah, cool. I got him that 1 moto, but it's like the other 8, I didn't beat him. And outside of Millville, he wasn't really... It's only been up till the first moto at Millville where he's actually been able to be this close to him. And yes, it is a surprise that he did it at Washougal, but it's like, once again, too, you got to look at it and go, okay, so the last 4 motos, he caught Eli and he passed him the first moto, and then he went down. And then the second moto, Eli got a average start, caught and passed him. First moto, Washougal, got an average start, caught and passed Chase. Chase got the start in the second moto, did what he had to do. Eli realized, like, hey, he's got it. But it's like, what happened in the motos before that when Eli got at Redbud? What happened when Eli got the start at Redbud over Chase? Chase couldn't fucking track him down.
Yeah.
I just believe that with the way Eli is these days, that if he gets to start over Chase is not going to be able to run him down because he hasn't been able to this year. Chase, and I don't want to say this to be like I'm being disrespectful to him because I do like Chase. I feel like it has been a very beneficial, the fact that he has been able to get the start over Eli. And then once Eli goes around him, we talked about this last week, he latched onto him. And he's so talented that he can pick up on lines that Eli's doing, but then use his technique to somehow run that pace. But I don't know that if Eli gets a start that Chase can run him down. I just don't. I don't believe he can. I only think the reason why he's been able to stay this is because he's gotten the starts over Eli, and then when Eli's gotten around him, Chase has been able to latch onto him. If you tell me that Chase just has to find that fucking pace, I don't know if he can. I think that it's very beneficial to him, and we're going to talk about this when we talk about the 250 with Jay Coop. Chase, we know, it's Eli and Chase. It's those 1 and 2.
Yep.
But I think that Chase has a problem sometimes finding that next level pace when he doesn't have a guy to latch onto. Because it happened in Supercross quite a few times.
I'll tell you what, I bet he's real pissed off about that tip over at Thunder Valley. That brain fart.
Oh, yeah, at the end of the moto. For sure, because it'd be 2 points then.
Yeah, well did he lose one spot or 2?
It would have been, it would have been tied because Eli would have got third that moto.
Yeah.
So it'd be tied right now if that would have never happened. But then you can also say he's probably super pissed off about that first moto at Millville. I cannot find a way to believe that if Chase doesn't get the start over Eli and Eli is in front of him, that Chase can track him down. Mm-hmm. I just don't. And that sounds super ridiculous because he's been able to do it. He's been able to run that pace, but I think it's because he's been able to latch onto the back of Eli. We all know that there's a difference between finding that pace when you don't have somebody to chase as opposed to chasing them. And I don't know if I can 100% confidently say that if Chase has to find that pace, then he can do it. Because that's the thing. He doesn't ride like that when it's just him riding around.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, here's what I'm saying. His worst moto finish of the year right now is 4th. We're through 16 motos.
Yeah.
And his worst moto finish is 4th.
No, I'm not bagging on.
I mean, we're in a dogfight here down to the end. So this will be cool to see. All right. So Sexton goes 2-1 for first. Tomac goes 1-2 for second. Mm-hmm. Anderson goes 3-3 for third, kind of quietly. Just there. Got dropped. Yeah. Whatever. I mean, those two are on another level. Everybody knows it.
We know that Ando wanted to do really well this season. Once again, we talk about it. He got that overall, but we know that it's Supercross.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go into 2023 Supercross, and it's probably going to be Eli, Chase, and Ando as the favorites. So.
Did you hear about Ando fucking with Eli in practice last week?
Yeah, I saw it. I watched it.
Oh, yeah, I guess because you can do that kind of thing. That's interesting.
I don't know why. Everybody was kind of wondering what he was doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like, I don't fucking know.
It's Jason Anderson. The
Yeah.
world may never know.
Yeah.
All right, Kenny goes 4-6 for fourth. Kind of like interesting, just quiet day for Kenny, but like not bad. But
Well, luckily for him, and we'll talk about this when we talk about like what we expect going into Unadilla, but he's probably happy Unadilla's the next round.
yeah, still nothing for him for next year yet.
He's got World Supercross.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
I don't think you see him. Well, I don't know how that would actually work out. Because so is it only it's only confirmed that he's riding red for these 3 rounds, and then there's nothing for next year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you see him on a red bike in 2023. That's
We'll
all
see.
I'll say.
Well, we'll see. Christian Craig goes 6-5 for fifth.
Man, him and Barsha in that first
Him
moto.
and Barsha battling.
Woo! They're trying to prove a point right
They're
now.
trying to prove the 250 point here.
Craig, though, man, got uncharacteristically bad starts both motos.
Yeah.
That I feel.
He crashed. I listened to
the
it.
first moto or the
Yeah,
second moto?
at least the first, if not both. I don't remember.
So, yeah,
no, he crashed both because he
okay.
crashed in almost the same spot he said on the first lap, both motos.
Yeah, but I think his bad start was because he
Yes,
was
that
fucking
could be
buried.
too. Yeah. But I mean, dude, he is quietly very, very good here on this 450 outdoors.
I'm kind of the same way with you. Even though I think it's not going to be a hindrance, I really hope that Husky doesn't set him back.
Yeah,
Because I tell you what, with all the momentum he's got right now,
and I'm a big Christian Craig fan. Now.
yeah,
Now here's the question though between him and Barsha. And by the way, Barsha goes 5-8 for sixth.
and he went down the second
moto. Yeah, that was kind
in
of
the
gnarly.
woods.
That was kind of a gnarly.
Yeah,
get off there. I mean, it just got
and
out
that
from
wall
underneath
was
him.
so fucking hard. There was
Oh,
no
yeah.
give there. It's just whatever.
Which one of them are we going to see on the 250?
Well, you heard Barsha had already been. Did you watch that video?
Yeah, Barsha rode
Barsha
it.
already spinning laps.
I
Christian-
mean, he looked okay. I didn't see anything.
I mean, you got to
wild.
think though. That's the first time he's ridden a 250F.
Yeah. And did you hear why he was really on that bike?
No.
They wanted him to test it because the 250 guys have been having so many issues.
I don't think Justin Barsha is a good guy to try to figure your 250F.
No,
out.
they just wanted a different opinion because apparently what has been happening, and this is coming
Well,
from,
Moseman's been talking about this too.
yeah, this is coming from Cooksey talking to Tyler Keefe that they've been having so many issues and the guys don't like the bike so much. They were like, you know what, Justin, why don't you go ride this for a day and tell us what you think?
I mean, cool, but I don't know what feedback he's going to be able to give them.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
That's not really
an outside opinion in something is always an outside opinion.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just can't think off the top of my head what is Barsha going to tell them that would benefit Michael and
I
Pierce.
don't know.
It's not a real confidence going into MX of Nations if you can't figure your fucking own bike out.
I
That
don't
makes
know.
me. So Christian,
And Craig they built, as I'm sure you saw on the broadcast when they
Yeah.
were talking to his mechanic, his 250's built. He's
Yeah,
riding
he's
it
in-
next week.
man, I go back and we're going to see videos of Christian. I mean, we saw videos of Barsha the day it happened.
Craig said in his post-race interview that he rode the 250 last week. He jumped on somebody's, I think, and rode it on the turn track and was shredding. He's like, I just didn't have a videographer. And we're like, okay, sure.
What?
That he rode it last week. I don't think
Oh
he
yeah,
did.
no. Because what's his name? I can't remember his mechanic's name. He's been around for a long time. He's like, yeah, we're just getting it built this week.
Yeah.
So like, whatever. Man, I still think there's some to the continuity thing of having 2-star guys. You know, I've changed my tune. I was all on the Barsha thing, but now I'm starting to wonder. I'm like, maybe Christian, because once again, I've said this to you.
I'm waffling on it too, man.
And I've said this to you on here, off the record, on the group text that we have. It's not going to really matter because they're going to rip that fucking start so damn deep. They're not going to get a start. But that star bike's definitely going to get a better start than that gas bike.
I know. My only nervousness,
And they're not
with
going to get over the
Craig-
leap. Let's be real. Neither of them are
Nah,
going to get over
my,
the leap.
my only nervousness with Craig is that he has not been there before.
The MX of Nations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a big spotlight event, and
It is.
Barsha has been there, and the pressure doesn't seem to phase him. And man, I would hate for that to be the thing that cracks our 250 guy. or
Unless
make-
they just go in and tell Christian, like, hey, dude, we just need solid results out of you because we know
well,
that
that's what they're going to say anyway, because we're going to have Chase and Eli. Chase and Eli are going to go out there and set a fucking pace.
Yeah.
No matter what we say, unless it's a fucking mutter, which it could be, who knows? They're
No,
going
I don't
to
think anybody's
set. They're going to set a pace and a tone because
Yeah.
this is. Tom Cooper's been texting me about this. This is the most pumped up we've been, like,
Oh, dude, I've been telling Matt.
Anybody's
I've been,
seen.
I've been telling Matt like I can't wait for this fucking
like,
thing.
and everybody,
And everybody actually wants to.
the riders,
Did you
everybody's
see-
talking.
Yeah, did you listen to Chase's interview with Josh Mosman from Moto, like talking
No.
about this? He was like, yeah, he's like, I think me and Eli, we can go win. Like, there's no reason for us not to. We can go win.
Yeah.
And it is like there's something about this, and I think that we have to get it done this year because if we don't,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to your question,
Oh my god! And have you seen the fucking stupid shit about like, oh look, Justin Cooper won a race, maybe we should fucking look at him? No, fuck off.
the only way that would even be a possibility is if Cooper went out and fucking did that for the last 4 rounds.
Yeah. If he
You know what made this simple is if fucking J Mart came back halfway into the year and be like, oh, just Jeremy Martin.
He's coming back.
Yeah, but dude, I don't think 2 rounds is good enough unless he just wins 4 motos in a row.
Yeah. If
That'd
he
be the
yards
only-
everyone,
yeah,
okay,
that'd
but
be the
I
only
don't
way.
see that happening
No,
either.
and dude, he didn't even ride the 250F last week. He rode the 450.
Yeah.
So it's like, to answer your question right now, if you put a gun to my head, I'd have to say Christian
We could
Craig.
do that.
We're not doing that. We'd get banned from YouTube.
Ban on YouTube.
I gotta go Christian Craig, man. Just because I still think there's something to the continuity of Star. Because I don't like
Yeah.
this. I don't like this whole thing, especially. We know Barsha and Eli don't like each other. Mm-hmm. And they can say they squashed their beef, whatever. And I don't think Barsha and Chase particularly like each other. Craig, everybody's like, well, Eli and him.
I don't think there's a lot of people like Barsha.
Yeah, so like,
Freddie
why would
Norton in his post-race interview said he got Barshed on the first lap of the
So
first
here's the
moto.
thing. Here's the thing, dude. Why the fuck are we gonna pick a guy that the other 2 guys are
Yeah,
gonna just?
especially when he's not that dominant. Like,
No.
if it was just like he's so dominant on a 250F, like, okay, cool.
And like
but
I said,
if he's
it doesn't-
not, it's like, yeah, you're right. It's like, well, is it really worth?
And it doesn't matter because our 250 guy is not going to beat the top 250 guys over there anyway. I don't see them beating Vial. I don't see them beating Gertz. I don't see them beating Hunter. They might have a hard fucking time beating Simon Langenfelder, who's the German rider for that team. So it's like, as long as they're in the top 5 in their own class, that's all we really need from them because we know Eli and Chase are going to set the pace in the first moto,
Yeah.
in their motos, and then the third moto. Which I'm telling you right now, that third moto is what it's going to come down to. Mm-hmm. It's going to come down to that third moto. I don't really think it's going to matter what our 250 guy is going to do because here's the thing. It doesn't fucking matter who we have. They're not going to go out and win a moto.
No.
So it's not going to matter. But I'd have to go with Craig.
Dude, let's get Ryan Villapoto back on that 07 bike and let's just fucking roll, baby.
I would,
Fucking start training RV and let's put him on
look,
that
can we go
fucking
back in the time
07.
machine and rip that dude and then put him on a actually take
Oh
that.
man, and he just fucking rip it, bro.
He's going to win.
Rip it. All right, so moving on. So Savachi 7-7 for 7
With a bum ankle.
with bum ankle.
I thought that knee tweaked and I'm like, oh, fuck,
That's what
here we
Cooksey
go.
thought too. No, Savachi said he scrubbed, didn't have his foot on the peg the proper way, and ended
A lot
up
of people did that.
yeah, and it's the foot that is bad already. They
Oh,
says
from the
has
250
the
days?
yeah, they says has the mobility of a cement block. So, and then when he landed, he like folded it or something. He went and got toward all shot. He said, and he was a game time decision. He went out, rode the sight lap to see how it would feel. So,
I mean, he did good. I mean, he was up there. He's in the top 5 in the second moto.
I am becoming a bigger Savachi fan.
Really?
By the minute.
I'm shocked, actually.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he got a good start yesterday and ran up front for a while
He's
again.
rode in top 5 in the second moto for like, 20 minutes?
After being hurt, I just think the poor guy's got no luck. I mean, the Savachi
doesn't.
syndrome holds super true to him. Like, don't get me wrong. I do not take that back at all.
Yeah.
And it's not a dig on him. It's just like, dude, in the 250 class, every time you got close, there was something
But you can
stupid
also,
would happen.
he obviously, if he heard something like that, he would shrug it off, but it would annoy him if other people said it more and more. But also, you can look at that and go, okay, that comment only comes from the fact that, dude, if you wouldn't have had those moments,
Yeah.
how many motherfucking championships would he actually have?
Oh, yeah.
Because so it's like,
And I wouldn't be over here saying the Savachi syndrome.
It's a diss, and I don't know if I've ever actually like thought of that until now, and maybe you haven't either. But it's like it's a diss, but it's also one of those things you go flip it, and if he wouldn't have had those moments, how many championships would he have actually had?
Uh-huh.
Because it's like, yes, he didn't get it done, and that is going to be a reflection on his career. But it goes, there's not a lot of people that you can say got that close to winning that many
Look,
titles.
it is essential. The Savachi syndrome is essentially shit. What do I want to say? It means bad luck.
Yeah.
That's what it means. Like
Yeah.
it's not really like a dig. It's just like, man, dude, he has bad luck.
I just really hope, man, I really hope that Cowie just at the end of this year does not.
There's a lot of talk about they are going to have 3 guys next year,
He-
but then there's a lot of talk about, is it going to be Savachi or is it going to be Faulkner?
If it's Austin Faulkner,
I
everybody at Cowie is an absolute moron.
I know.
Jesus
I know.
Christ.
So
That'd be the most stupid.
oh yeah.
Stupid.
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
my
hearing
God.
different things, so we'll see. Benny Bloss, he goes 9-9 for 8th.
Not bad.
He's having a big ride day at his house this week.
Apparently, yeah.
I'm not fast enough to get the invite.
No.
I
Not
thought
a lot of people are.
I thought about texting him and being like, "Hey, bro, can I get an invite?" But then I'd also have to go to Kansas or wherever the fuck it is down there. So I'm out on that. AP 8-13 for 9. Crashed that second moto.
6th for a while in that second moto. Right?
Yeah, he was doing pretty well. And he crashed. He went down. So whatever. Amart farewell tour. There goes my hero, a la Steve Mathis. 10-12 for 10th. So that's not bad.
I think that's his best moto or best finish of the year.
Yeah. Michigan's own Marshall Welton goes 12-11 for 11th.
Solid day. Kind of back to normal. Hit a lull there for a few
weeks. Yeah,
But,
but
now
here
he's
we
kinda,
are.
that's kind of where he's been. So
Yep.
good for him.
Here's a good one. We got some stuff to talk about here. So Ryan Dungey goes 38
Oh
for.
boy, those first 2 laps of that first moto,
We're
I was
exciting.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
There's some speed going on
And
there.
I actually believe eventually they were going to start to inch away from him, but he wasn't out of control.
No.
He was not out of control.
That's probably the best I've seen Dungey look since he came
And
back.
I loved how RV in the booth's going, yeah, man, like he's just making me look good.
Yeah.
Because you're like thinking in the back of the mind, you're like, yeah, that comment goes because he's making him look good. Because guess what? RV used to wax his ass.
Yeah.
So RV's going, yeah, I'd have these guys covered.
Which is funny because he came back at Monster Cup and did not have those guys covered.
Wow. God, why am I all of a sudden like defending dudes that I never would defend? Okay, you are correct. But RV was also 40 pounds overweight and didn't
I'm
give
just
a shit.
saying. I'm just saying. He came back and he did not have those guys covered.
No, but if RV would have trained like Dunge, he'd come back, there'd be no doubt in my mind where he would be right now.
Here's the funny thing. Dunge and Sexton, I don't know if you've seen this or heard about this. They do press after the races forever.
Really?
Not only do they do press, they sign autographs and take pictures.
Well, Dunge, that doesn't
forever.
Dunge, that doesn't surprise me because he's kind of always done that in his career. Like he's always tried to be a man of the people. Sexton, I mean, I don't know if that's just somebody at Honda or maybe it's his dad Kier because Kier always has him under control.
Maybe
it's just Kier telling him, "Hey, dude, like, you need this.
Yeah.
You need this."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing for
No,
him,
no,
but
no,
but
not at all.
but literally, Weege makes comments about it every week in the Weege show about how those guys are there forever after the race. They'll take
good for them.
pictures, they'll sign autographs, they'll do any sort of press, whatever
Good. I mean,
for the two of them.
That's how you need to keep. That's how you keep your career going.
Yeah, we got to talk to him. Iron Man,
Which one?
both of them,
Oh,
all of the above, as many people as possible.
Should be like Chase. Don't watch this show though. First.
Then we're gonna go get us ourselves a nice dinner at Applebee's and either hit the road back home or
That's just our thing, guys. We eat at Applebee's.
We're
when
gonna
we
have
travel.
a nice dinner at Applebee's. We should
Nice
we
steak
should do
dinner.
we should do a meetup Friday night at Applebee's in whatever it is
A
there,
nice
Crawfordsville.
a nice steak dinner.
Yeah. Do a meetup. Be like, hey guys, this is where we're gonna be. Feel free to come find us.
Yep.
After we leave the track on Friday. Probably go to Walmart and hang out for a while because that's all there is to do in that town. Dunham's. No, there was a Dunham's. We can go buy guns.
Cool.
Fuck
You bought
yes.
ammo there last year.
I
so-
did because there was ammo. I was fucking bummed. So, all right. Let's see here. Shane, 14-10 for 13. Is he still going to be riding after the break, or do we know?
I don't think so.
Any idea?
I don't think so.
Do we know what's happening?
I don't think so. If Malcolm and Dino are coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, the wheels are kind of falling off, and I think that has something to do with that back. He's not been the same
not
guy for
great.
a while.
Chiz goes 13-16 for 15. Good for him. Carson Brown, 15-20
On
for
the
18 on the
252
252
banger.
smacker.
God, that was good to hear that, Blake.
Garrett Marchbanks fucked my fantasy right in the ass with a 35-15 for 19, so that's sweet.
Yep.
Brandon Hartraft apparently crashed in the first moto, went 37-18 for 21st, so that's fucking sweet. Moranz, as we said, went 20. Poor Kev. 22-22 for 24 on the day. Wow.
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 It's just a 450 class in a nutshell this year.
Yep. Let's see here. Anybody else? Not really. Oh, Matt Hubert was racing.
Yeah, buddy, Matt Hubert.
Went DNF 30, so that's cool. Anything else with the 450s here before we move on?
Ooh.
Ooh.
No. Nothing
Ooh.
racing related.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it has to do with racing, but like nothing like actually in the motos.
now I'm sad.
Apparently, Roger D took a tumble.
Who?
Roger DeCoster.
Oh, really?
He took a tumble.
Down what?
Like he got hit. Lars Van Brickel went off the side of the track and smoked him while he was standing on the
Really?
side of the track.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I don't know what happened. Like Lars had it in his like Instagram post, but I don't know if he got loose in the back.
There
or
was
whatever.
somebody else who smoked a fucking TV thing.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember who it was.
But,
Somebody
like,
a post-race interview.
DeCoster was standing on the side of the track,
Yeah.
and Lars, like I said, I don't know what happened to him. He said it in his post. He got loose, and he hit, like, Roger head on.
Wow.
And they started rolling down the hill, and, like, they both ended up having to get amboed out. This is fucking the legend of Roger DeCoster. This happened in the first moto. Gets taken, evaluated,
Second moto he
comes
was there.
back for the second moto, and is, like, bandaged up with cuts and bruising and just back to his normal job. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Roger, you are no normal 77-year-old.
Dude, I gained a lot of respect for that guy when I saw him walking around with that sledgehammer at Redbud after the race, like pounding stuff.
Look, man, he's a man's man.
He's
a
fucking-
fucking.
he's
there's
a-
a reason why they call him the man.
He's the man.
Yeah, and it's it makes sense. That's why he doesn't take
Probably
bullshit.
needs to retire. I do agree with Sleater on that.
Yeah.
Probably should talk about some retirement things here, but
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have him making decisions for MX of Nations.
yeah,
teams
he's
any
old
longer.
school.
Yeah.
Sleater, did you hear that part on the Gypsy Tales? Because
No.
Sleater brought that up.
Yeah, well,
There was quite a long discussion on that. It was interesting.
I
So
mean, everybody's trying to get like Ricky or Mitch to be like the team manager of the team. And I'm like,
Yeah,
first
but-
off, Ricky's not doing it.
Sleater actually brought up the same thing with Mitch of like he's old school and it might be time for change.
I just
like,
don't know who we would put in that position.
who's the guy that's the manager at Star.
Jeremy Coker.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, could do him.
I mean, he's,
Yeah, I mean,
he's
why not?
young, he's fit.
Yeah, why not?
He's
Yeah,
know
I mean, why not?
he's in it. So
I mean, you could have Lars from Honda too.
look, we need some. This works the same way. And I'm just gonna say this, and it's gonna fucking probably get us off YouTube, but whatever. It works the same way as our president.
Oh God.
We need some young big dick energy.
I mean,
in this stuff.
Lars is not young, but I mean, he's not old, but he's not young. You
He's
could have
in his
Lars.
40s. He's got some younger big dick energy
You could have
compared
Lars.
to
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I mean, people have talked about this for a long time now.
Lars. I would like to see a few more years of actual team management and see how it goes, especially once
I
we
mean,
get
his
away
team's doing
from.
pretty fucking good this year.
Well, we have the Lawrence brothers,
Chase Sexton.
and well, yes, he kind of walked into that. Jeremy Coker's kind of built Star here because hasn't he managed Star for a while?
He's been a star for a while.
Yeah, so he's kind of built that. So I like that a little bit more of
So-
built not bought.
Yeah,
kind of.
there's Coker, there's Jensen Hendler, and then there's also Brad Hoffman over at the Yamaha. But like Jeremy Coker obviously is like the face that everyone.
Yeah.
because it's Coker that's like the big manager, and
Yeah.
then Jensen Hendler is like the 250 manager, and then Brad Hoffman deals with like the Yamaha, like just the OE side of things.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of shit over there, but yeah, Jeremy Coker's like the big dog over at Star.
I'm gonna start a thing to get him as our.
I mean, it'd be good because I mean, also like if you just want to talk about like young and guy that would be able to relate with the riders, Wilbur.
yeah, he'd be an interesting one too.
Yeah, because he's not the manager at TLD.
Yeah.
But like, we just need a guy for like one weekend out of the year.
Yeah.
That'll be able to get these fucking monkeys to
Mm-hmm.
just listen.
Make the monkey dance.
Exactly. So yeah, no, I don't. I completely agree with everything you're saying.
All right, cool. So that was our 450 wrap up brought to you by our friends at JT Cycle. Again, links in the description below to all our sponsors. So now we'll do our 250 Washougal wrap up, which are going to be brought to you by our friends at Gutter Worx, Josh and Kayla. Amazing moto family. All the kids ride, all 18 of them. All ride, P-dubs, it's awesome. Actually, we're getting ready to have another kid, another little boy, so that'll be fucking cool. Zane's going to have a little brother to
Good
pick
for
on.
Josh to not be outnumbered anymore.
Yeah, awesome.
Love you guys.
Yeah, because it sucks when you're outnumbered. Trust me, I know.
Yeah,
Thank
you
God
only-
the
and it's only
dog's a
two,
guy.
and it's only two of you.
Thank God the dog's a guy.
Yeah, it's only two of them.
Yeah, I
Think
know.
about with Josh, it's like five.
Check them out at gutterworksgutters.com. All right, 250 wrap up here. Well,
What?
we're 7 out of 8. Honestly, we'd be 8 out of 8.
Nah, I'd be a little. You got a little lucky this one, kind of like with Thunder Valley.
Look, when it's your year, it's your year.
Yeah, no,
I'm not going to say luck doesn't play a factor in it, but you know what?
Even RV brought this up. He's like, yeah, you have to make your own luck. Rick used to say this. But there is, it's just, I said this a while ago.
Dude, he did kind of yesterday, too, because
What?
he did not look that great, and he forced his way into second both motos. Like, he clicked it at a point and went, okay, cool, it's time to go. I need to get into second.
Okay, but, like, here's the thing, though. If you're saying not great, like, you also made the comment that everybody else was struggling. Even if he would have looked great, I still don't think he would have won, though.
We had bad juju going in because we kept saying how much we hated that track.
Well, that's his
so
own fucking fault.
Bad juju going in, and we still went 2-2 and got the overall. Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah, good. Dude, he already had such a big points lead and stuff, but he did. And dude, he even said it.
It's hard being the best, but we manage it.
He even made the comment. He's like, I wasn't even close.
Yeah.
He did not have the pace. He was not going to win yesterday.
No.
He just wasn't. He was not going to
Although,
win.
did you hear the comments after the first moto?
No, I only watched the second moto.
So the comments after the first moto were like, "Yeah, I let Hunter have that," and I'm like, "Ooh, that's a lit." Like,
yeah, I didn't
like
let Hunter have that.
I appreciate the confidence jet and stuff like that, but you better be able to go and like fucking get him after that, like.
And he did. Yeah,
And don't get me wrong. Second moto, yeah, they fucking.
And Hunter went down.
Yeah, Hunter had nothing for him, but
I don't know if that's just jet. He was like taking a jab at him, or he actually believes that, but he didn't let Hunter.
Look, here's what I want to talk about here real quick too. And I don't even have this in my notes. Did you watch the Red Bull thing they did about the Lawrences here?
No, I
haven't.
I have it in my queue, but I have not had the chance to watch it.
So let me ruin this a little bit for you here.
That's fine.
Their dad is on it, and I fucking love their dad. He is the fucking man.
I don't think there's one person that says they don't like Darren.
He's literally on there, and he's like, "Look, if everybody wants us to quit, or wants the media and everybody to quit talking about us, fucking beat us."
Yeah.
He's literally on there. He's like, "Look, if you guys don't like that people are talking about us, you don't like us having the spotlight, you don't like us doing this or that, then fucking beat us." But here's the thing. You can't. We've been stomping everyone. And it's like,
that's okay.
And it's
you got to be careful. Like, look, that is great. And Sleater and Jace talked about this on the show with the comparison to the Lessees, even though Darren is not like he didn't have fucking Jet and Hunter riding 450s, and Sleater talked about this when they were fucking 14 or whatever. Yeah. So like, there's a little bit of comparison with the hype train. Obviously, there is a difference because you can compare Mike and Jet. But you can't compare Jeff and Hunter.
But here's the thing.
But you got to be careful. Look, I think I just call him Darren. Like everybody calls him Dazzy, I'll call him Darren. He definitely knows he has the best interest of his boys. He's not riding their coattails. He is making them earn everything.
He's keeping them in control.
But here's the thing, though. You got to be careful when you start making comments like that, though. And he's not wrong. He is dead fucking right. Like, people don't want to admit this. He's dead fucking right. You have to be careful with that, though, because when you start making comments like that, and then when if you start getting beat, and then you start getting beat all the time, it makes you look really, really fucking bad. This is not the 450 class yet. Jet, Hunter, when they get to the 450, if they do this then, you know what? Then all bets are off. You can say
but I don't think he talks like this in the 450 class if they're getting beat.
That's what I mean, though. So
now, he's 100% right.
He is. But once again, though, you can't be making comments like that when one of your sons is about to make the jump to the 450 class next year.
But here's the other thing, too.
He's not wrong. I'm not saying he's wrong.
And you want to talk about the Alessi comparison too, okay? Dazzy's not driving the hype train.
No. And like
the
I said,
hype train is being driven by the media and everybody around it.
I'm saying that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying he's also not driving the hype train. When Mike came into the pros, fucking Tony was driving the hype train.
Believe the hype
right into the ground. But
all I'm saying is you just have to be careful when you start making comments like that.
I know, but I'm just like, dude, I fucking love it because he's on, like you said, he's 100% right.
He is.
If you want them not to talk about us, not to cover us, fucking beat us.
Yeah, and
if you beat us, then we become irrelevant. Yeah, but you can't. You fucking can't.
Right now, yes.
The only person on that track right now that I say can beat them with any sort of consistency is Joe Shimoda.
Yeah, like right now, it's Joe.
Justin Cooper got lucky, he won a moto. Levi Kitchen got lucky, he won a fucking moto. Okay?
I wouldn't say it's luck, but I get what
Michael Mosman got lucky, he won a moto.
That was more of,
Those three, What are their fucking results outside of that? Like, get fucked. Like, there's
Cooper is the
nobody has anything. Okay, Cooper's got what, one podium?
No.
Two?
Cooper's the one guy that I will say, because we know that he's going through, that has a little bit more backing to him because he took it to Jet last year.
Yeah.
We know that, and we obviously know J Mark's not there, but you're right. Joe has been the one guy, the consistent, that has given them a run. We know that, once again, there is factors with some of the other shit, but you're not wrong. Like,
Do we know anybody that knows Nick Way?
Dude, I mean, there's a lot of probably people on the east side that
Like,
know Nick Way.
legit knows Nick Way.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably find someone. Why?
Because I heard Joe's here in Michigan.
Yeah, he's been training to Nick's house. 'Cause Nick's out of
Yeah,
track.
fucking sweet.
Yeah.
We should hang out.
I don't think it's that easy, but okay.
We should give him come over and ride Martin or something, dude. You know Nick likes Martin.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why not. Sure.
It'd be sweet.
Sure.
Can you imagine we got Joe Kessler out there fucking ripping?
Yeah. But no, all I'm saying is you just have to be careful when you start making those comments and stuff, because it does make you look foolish if you can't continue to back it up.
Yeah.
If you continue to back it up, that's why I don't like people making those comments in the middle of people's careers. It's better to make those comments afterwards, because everything is set in stone, it's done. But like I said, if you make comments like that, and then just for the sake of this argument, Jet goes to the 450s and he's just not what we thought, it does make you look stupid.
We'll be fine. 1-2 at Honda next year
No.
in the series.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
100%.
Nope.
Not
Not gonna happen.
But that Red Bull series, like the first video's out, it's really good. Hunter talks about like casing that triple at Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what he says, but it was fucking funny.
Yeah.
I remember laughing at it because he made some comment about it, and it was something, only the Lawrences would come up with.
No, I know.
As to why he cased it. So, all right. Anyway, moving on. So Justin Cooper goes 4-1 for second. I mean, he was irrelevant that first moto to the top three. Like, he was out.
And this is the comment I'm gonna make talking about the amateur stuff. And Weege brought this up. Jay Coop is so start dependent, and he pretty much has done this his entire career since he went pro. If he's gotten bad starts, he can usually work his way inside to a podium or a top 5. Usually, like he's never really had times where he's like, oh, he gets a shit start and he ends up like 10th.
Yeah.
Outside of Paula, and we know that was different. Like, he was definitely just recovering from his injury.
Yeah.
But he goes and yanks a hole of that second moto, and he fucking drops him. And you can even go back to Southwick. He got a good start.
That second moto was good yesterday.
I mean,
I'm
dude,
not going to take it away from him.
And here's the thing, too. What was even more impressive to me is when Jet got into second, it was like, 3 seconds?
Yeah.
And he started closing up, and you're like, well, wheels are falling off for Jay Coop. Like, he's not back to where he was last year. And Jay Coop, I don't know if they said something on the pit board. He just, realized, like, hey, this is
Have you looked at lap times? Did he drop his lap times? Because I'd be interested to see that.
So he was at, like, what were they saying, like a 2:16, 2:15, and then he started dipping back down into the 2:14s. So it's like, he picked it up
a little bit.
And Jet couldn't close it. And then I think when Jet realized, he's like, hey, I'm not going to catch this dude.
Yeah.
Like, he just, whatever. But that was impressive to me.
I mean, that was a good moto for him, yeah.
And
I need to see more before I'm like, yeah, cool, like he's back or he can do anything. Because outside of that, I'm just going to consider it like the rest of them. Like, oh, he got a start and he fucking ran away from him. Great, cool.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, that we could say about Jay Coop, though, because we've seen it. We saw it last year when he took Jet to the limit. That if Jay Coop is back, like if this is like the next stepping stone to being back where he was last year, as much as we don't like Justin Cooper, we have to give him credit in the sense that we know that if he's 100%, that he's legit.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with you. It's one time. If he goes to Unadilla and he struggles, but it's like, if he goes to Unadilla and he goes 1-2 or 2-1 or 1-1 or whatever, or 2-2, but he's like right on Jet and Hunter and Joe the whole entire moto, you go, okay, we know that when this dude is, but the problem is that we only have 4 rounds to go, and then he goes 450 next year. So it's like, it's unfortunate that if it took him this long to get back to where he was last year, because then you go, Jesus, if he was like where he was last year, we would have had even more of a battle this year.
Yeah.
But you just don't know. You don't know. I hope so.
I'm super interested to see what happens with him here for next year.
Well, we can talk about that at the end of the show.
Yeah. So
I will say this. I hope that this is a sign of him coming back, even though I'm not a fan of Jay Coop. Because, once again, we know that if he is 100%, he can battle with those dudes. I mean, he proved it last year.
Yeah.
He took Jet to the limit. He beat Jet a lot of times just as much Jet beat him.
Yep.
So it's like, he's the one guy you can go, okay, if he's 100%, it's legit. We know that he can do it.
Yeah.
But, like you said, we have to wait to see.
Yeah. All right, Hunter goes 1-4. That first moto was good.
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, him
Second
and Joe,
moto was just that tip over cost him.
Yeah, I mean that first moto though, him and Joe, when
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
ran him wide before the whoops, I was like, I hope Joe didn't mean to do that. And Hunter was probably like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, oh no, Joe meant to do that.
oh well,
Joe, Nick is teaching him a little elbow grease, man.
yeah,
That's all
Michigan
right.
Mafia way.
Michigan
no, it's fine.
Mafia.
Hey man, as long as you're not sawing dudes' front ends off, that's
No.
fine. That's fine.
No.
And then Jet did it to Joe.
Yeah, and it's hilarious because Joe rides so much better when he's around those. Actually, dude, he is so good. And I know, like, he just started working with Nick, so it's like, what the like? Nick must just have mentally triggered something in him because, like, this has to have been
Nick
there.
knows what he's talking about, dude. Nick was around for a long time, and yes, he never won championships, but he was always on factory teams other than the 1 year he rode Suzuki's. And he was always solid, dude. And here's the thing. Nick grew up racing literally the best of the best. He went
Yeah.
from the Ricky Carmichael era to the James Stewart era to the like he raced
Yeah.
all the top legends or whatever the fuck you want to call them. So it's like Nick knows how to do well
Yep.
as a professional.
Yep. It's interesting, that's for sure.
I think it's a good look. But there is something to when Joe
3-3 for fourth though. Poor guy.
Yeah. Dude, I am curious, though, what happened to that second moto when Jet finally got around him. Did Joe just say, hey, man, like, no moss? Or did he, like, it? I'm wondering if he, like, started to hit a wall a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That was interesting because, yeah, he did drop him. Now that you say that, I think about it. Yeah, he did.
Because he went from, like, 2 seconds, and it was 2, and then he got to, like, 1.8, and then it went to 3, and then it went to, like, 7, and I was like, ooh. I was like, I don't know if he had a bad lap or he was just like, yeah, whatever.
Maybe. All right, Max Volan goes 7-5 for fifth.
Building.
Building.
It's got to.
Building.
Gotta keep building.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta keep building. Unadilla's going to be interesting for him because he didn't. I don't think he raced there last year.
I don't remember. I don't know for sure. Seth Haymaker has never been to this track. I'm not sure if you're aware. They said on the broadcast about 27 times. He's never been to this track.
First moto was real solid.
5-8 for sixth.
Kind of like where he's been since.
Yeah.
You know, and once again, we have to remember this is the first time he's done an entire outdoor season.
He is a lot like Styles, where
Yeah.
he just needed to make it through the season. Just
I
make
think-
it through the whole season.
And I think if he makes through this outdoor season, that's a check. That's a win
Yep.
for him.
RJ Hampshire, 8-6 for 7.
He's just kind of there. Didn't really notice him too much. I don't think a Washougal is.
That's another team that the bike is not great.
No,
They
well,
are arguing hard.
It also doesn't help. I mean, they've been arguing all year.
I've heard
450s have
I've
started
heard
now that
yeah, but I've heard a lot of stuff recently with him. He made a comment in his post race last weekend about the bike. I mean, a
Dude, RJ,
big
though-
comment. I don't remember exactly, but it was something to do with the motor. And yeah, it would, dude. It's interesting that it's that bad over there.
I don't think he can complain about the motor because Styles was getting starts no fucking problem.
Yeah, I don't
if he's
know
complaining about
I
the
don't know
chassis,
I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but I just remember he made a comment and then he kind of went in on it a little bit, and then Steve talked about it all week on his shows, and it was definitely
look,
it's
RJ is never going to be able to find a team that's going to be able to set the bike up for the way he rides.
maybe if he got his fucking bars out of his lap. DV talked about this on Pulp on Monday.
Slater talked about this as well when they were talking about.
If you get your fucking bars out of your lap, you might not crash as much.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah, if
but
you
you
look at
ride
him-
with your bars in your fucking lap
yeah,
like a fucking idiot.
like I said, and also it would help too if he wasn't like a fucking ragdoll. He's like
Yeah.
a board. His upper body is like always just in the same position, shoulders like.
and his
dude,
bars at his knees.
yeah, and that's the thing. RJ's gonna have to realize that he's never gonna find a team that's gonna be able to set that bike up. And holy shit, I think when he goes to the 450, he should just retire.
I mean, dude, how old is he? He's not going to get to the 450 class unless he buys a bike and does it himself.
I think he's 20.
Who the fuck is going to hire him?
Somebody.
No,
It won't be a factory team. Somebody will hire him.
no way. I don't even
Yeah.
think it happens.
A team like Hep would hire him. Somebody will hire him. Just it won't be a factory team.
Dude, I don't know.
He'll end up on club or some shit.
I mean, yeah, he's got it because he's running out. Here's the thing. Okay, you were at what's it called?
He was at Geico
Geico. The same thing happened that we're doing with now. It's not the fucking team or the bike, dude. It's you. You need to go in and make a fundamental change
Which
to
is
how you
wild,
ride.
man, because God, dude, he is so fucking fast. but
You're so
like,
fast, but it's just so dumb. Like
He
he's
is the one-
got to make a fundamental change,
he
or
is
it's
the
never
one-
going to change.
He is the one dude that you could say could have benefited from a riding coach.
He should have played baseball.
You know, the also crazy thing is too.
What?
I mean, he was a good baseball player too. He probably could have went pro.
Probably
in
wouldn't have
baseball.
got hurt as much here.
Definitely not, unless he got smoked by a pitch. The one thing you could say about RJ though is His fucking cardio's on point.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't get fucking tired.
Nope.
And fucking J Mart made this comment at Millville, and we all know it, but it's funny to hear somebody say it because J Mart and, RJ have trained a lot together, especially from the Geico days. He goes, yeah, dude, you almost have to be in shape to be able to ride the way RJ does. Like, you can't be an out-of-shape dude and ride the way. So, like, that's the one thing you can say about RJ. He's got the speed, he's got the cardio, but Jesus Christ, dude, your technique is absolute garbage.
It's terrible.
Maybe he needs Nick Way.
He needs Nick Way in his life.
He needs somebody in his life.
Jesus.
You need... Okay. Well, that's...
All right.
now we're off YouTube again.
Pierce Brown goes 6'9", giggity, for
12th?
for 8th. For 8th.
I mean, that was his best moto. I think that's his best weekend he's had all year.
Oh, wait, here's your homeboy who's killing it. Nate Thrasher goes 13-7 for 9th. Killing it. Fucking killing it, bro.
Wow. Once
He's
again,
so good. He's so fucking good.
what's wrong with top 10?
He's so good.
What's wrong with top 10?
So good.
Are you going to answer my question?
Dude, I mean, 13-7 for 9th. There's nothing. So good.
What is the rest of that star team doing right now? Oh, that's right. They're not there.
So good.
What is wrong with top 10?
So good.
What is wrong with top 10?
So good.
Are you going to answer me?
He's so good.
Can you please answer my question?
He's so good.
Can you please answer my question?
Dude, he's so good.
You're not going to answer it.
He's
All right.
so
You're
good.
not going to answer it, are you?
No.
Why?
Because he's so good. Like,
Why will you not answer
my
me?
My answer to the question is he's so good.
He is good. Top 10 is fine. That's where he's at.
So good.
He is not expected. He is not going to win. I never said he was going to win. He's not expected to get top 5s. He is a top 10 dude because I'm sorry, where are the rest of his teammates at right now?
He's so good.
Where's Levi Kitchen at? Hurt. Where's Nick Romano at? Hurt. Where's Matt LeBlanc at? Hurt. So it's him and Jay Coop. Nate Thrasher is not meant to win. Nobody expects him to win outdoors. He is top 10. It's where he's meant to be. It's where he's at. That's the end of it.
He's so good.
He is good. Top 10. How many dudes get top 10s outdoors?
So good. A lot.
Nah, that's false. It's
That
the same
list would
dudes
be
every.
long.
It's the same fucking dudes
List
every
would
week.
be long.
It's the same fucking dudes every week.
All right, let's keep going. Oh, your homie Jalik Swole goes 9-12 for 11th. That's sweet. Oh, Derek Kelly. That's who it was. Derek Kelly, I guess, in the first moto was battling somebody, swapped, and smoked one of the fucking TV camera lift things or
really?
something. Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. He was talking about that on his post race. Let's see here. Your boy Dylan Schwartz came back. He went 14-15 for 16th, so that's okay. Michigan's own Chris Prebula. It's fucking pouring cats and dogs outside again. And we have a metal roof here, so it makes it worse.
Awesome.
Prebula 19-18. He was running for 18th. He was running 13th that second moto or something. I was quite impressed with that.
15th overall at Millville.
Let's see here. Anybody else? Nope. Nope. That's it. Anything else with 250s?
Nobody really. I mean, Carson Mumford was up there for a while in the first moto. Don't know what happened the second moto. Derek Drake, I don't know. Preston Kilroy. Preston Kilroy got 11th the second moto.
Yep.
Yep.
That was
So
good. That's good.
he's kind of getting back to normal because I mean he got hurt a lot in Supercross.
Yep.
Who else?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think. I can't really. I mean, nobody else on Pro Circuit, obviously. No. Yeah, I mean, no, there's nobody really left.
No, not really. So,
No.
all right. This has been your 250 wrap up brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Gutters, again, check them out. Links in the description down below. Okay. What do you want to talk about first here now? Because we got some shit. Do you want to talk about the new schedule with the Feld and MX Sports collab for next year?
Sure, we can talk about that first.
Do you want to talk about silly season? Or do you want to talk about World Supercross? Because we've already pretty much covered the MXON shit.
I mean, we could talk about any one of them first.
Pick?
Talk about the Feld MX Sports thing.
Okay. So have you heard what's going on with this new thing?
All I've heard is that they're trying to collab this thing to try to, bring more interest, and we know that it's because they're freaking out about World Supercross. And
No. This has been in the works for years.
yeah, no, it hasn't.
This has been in the works for years.
Yeah.
It's been... Hey, look at me. This is my boat. This has been in the works for years.
Which is
if
wild.
you ask Davey Coombs at Ironman if this has been in the works for years, he's going to tell you so many years.
You know what's wild is that this is one of the best outdoor seasons we've had in a long time. That's the sad part about it.
Yeah, and it's hidden from the public because we can't have a fucking TV thing
Yeah, I
that
know.
works.
I
Because
know.
once again this week I could not watch practice on YouTube, which was fucking sweet, and the Flow Racing app can suck my fucking dick. So here I am and thank God, because apparently the app didn't fucking work worth the shit in practice, and the fucking app didn't work worth the shit the first moto you were telling me. And luckily I have Mav TV, courtesy of my parents, and you can go back and watch the last 2 shows to hear about that one. And here we are. I actually could watch the moto, so fucking sweet.
Yeah, cool. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of secrecy to what this whole thing is. The last thing I had heard, and this was last week, I think it was.
Oh yeah, see, there's been a lot of things.
Yeah, that the last thing I heard is that they're like, oh, they're trying to figure out a way to, hey, we're gonna do some Supercross, and then we're gonna mix in some outdoors, or vice versa. We're gonna do some outdoors. We're making super. See, the thing is,
Let me tell you what's
this is
going
not a
on
new
now.
concept. They used to do this back in the 80s and 90s.
There's a couple change ups here.
Okay.
Let me tell you this. So MX Sports and Feld are going to come together and create the Grand National Championship.
Yeah, that was already a thing.
Okay, the Grand National Championship though is going to be 3 rounds.
They're not going to be able to call it that because there's already a thing.
3 rounds at the end of the year that are going to be like, I guess, Monster Cup style tracks. Okay, hold on. I've heard things like LA Coliseum. I don't know what else. Anyway, okay. So you're going to still have 17 rounds of Supercross, but we're only going to have 11 rounds of outdoors. And then, like I said, then at the end, there's going to be 3 rounds after the outdoor series for these 3 Grand National Championship rounds. But you're going to have to qualify into the Grand National Championship by competing in Supercross and Motocross. And they're going to put up, get this, $10 million extra in prize money. It's going to come. Let me just divide this up for you. Let me do this math here. Yeah, that rain's fucking sick, bro.
Wow.
1.5 million from Feld, 1.5 million from MX Sports, and 7 million from NBC. Now wait, it gets better. Let's go into our Holster Co. reload rant. The MX Sports money, they're going to charge the tracks $30K more a round. Go fuck yourselves.
You definitely had to say it that loud, actually, because that rain's pretty
That
intense.
rain is pretty fucking loud. Go fuck yourselves, MX Sports. Dude, Feld isn't pulling that out of the fucking stadium's pockets. They're fucking pulling that out of their own pockets. MX Sports makes 0 money. So, hey, tracks, I'm going to need you to go ahead and give me $30K more. You know what's wild? For like $2 million, you probably, actually, it'd be more than that. For not a lot of money, you could probably create an outdoor series, go to these tracks and say, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to bring in all the top riders, and we're not going to charge you fucking anything.
Davey and his sister and Tim Cotter and all those fucks at MX Sports, if they're going to charge $30K more
Per track.
there are so many tracks that aren't going to be able to afford that. There are so many.
On top of that, here, let's just say this. What I just found out, which is old news, but me being young in the sport didn't know, Davey Coombs Sr. came up with the whatever it was that was like a fucking union for the tracks to fight against the promoters, and then your son comes in and blows that all to hell.
Yeah, Davey.
Fucking joke. And again, I know that's
like
old
his,
news,
he's nothing
but
like
I'm,
his dad. Yeah,
I'm
he's nothing like his dad.
new, so I don't know this stuff.
So there's a lot of. I can already think there's a lot of tracks on the schedule right now that would not be able to afford that.
Hey, there's no money. Oh, wait. We found $10 million. Oh, hey, the teams don't want any more races. We're adding 3 races.
So here's the thing.
Fucking sweet.
I can already, right off the top of my head, so let's go through this list. Paula would be able to afford that. Hangtown won't be able to afford that. Thunder Valley won't be able to afford that. Washougal, because I've told you about their problems.
Yeah, they're not affording that.
They're not going to afford that. So Redbud Millville will be able to afford that. Obviously, we know Ironman and High Point are MX Sports owned, so they'll be able to afford that. Unadilla is not going to be able to afford that because Unadilla doesn't even have enough fucking races there to do something like that. Budds Creek and Jonathan Beasley already have their own fucking problems. They almost went bankrupt a long time ago. They're not going to be able to do that.
Yep.
So Southwick, probably, maybe, because Mike... Well, no, probably not. No, now that I thought about that. Southwick will tell you they have to go fuck right off. So who are you left with? Who am I forgetting right now? I'm not forgetting anybody. That's it.
That's it.
All right, so yeah. So you basically have what? You got Paula, Redbud, Millville, High Point, Crawfordsville. That's it.
Dude, it's fucking stupid.
And also, I'm not a mathematician by any means, but you said 11 rounds outdoors, right? And 16 rounds Supercross?
17.
17. Okay. Why are we only taking 1 round off of outdoors?
Probably because we're not going to Paula twice.
Well, you're not going to be going to a lot of tracks twice at all. You won't be able to get any tracks once. Oh, my God. Oh, fucking hell. Like, dude, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And here's the thing, too. If you're saying it's Monster Cup style, okay, you add all this extra money in. Are they going to do it at the end of outdoors? Is that like what they've... Okay. You're not going to get anybody to compete in that. You're not going to sit there and tell me you're going to...
That's why they're putting up $10 million.
I don't think at that point a lot of these dudes are even going to be able to... They're even going to give a shit.
Honestly, what I think is going to happen is I think it's going to be... like the top 20-something dudes are going to qualify into these 3 rounds or something. I'm not really sure. I haven't... Like... From what I understand, you're going to have to compete in both series to qualify for these 3 rounds at the end of the year.
Don't see...
On top of that, here is the what Cooksey thinks is going to happen is they're going to go to teams and force teams to force these guys to sign deals that says you cannot go ride World Supercross. You have to ride Feld SX,
so it begins.
MX, and the Grand National Series.
And so it begins.
Or you can't qualify for the Grand National Series or something like that.
So it begins.
A la PGA Tour and Live.
Feld and... God, that really sucks that Prater and Gendro and all them are actually in fucking Mike Mewey.
The thing is why do you want to try to compete? The Saudi group is basically an unlimited budget.
They effectively will kill both of their series. Because here's the thing. Look, this is going to be an asshole comment, but I can say it too because, you know, I've fucking been in the sport my entire life. Moto people, we're not the smartest people in the fucking world. We have some common sense, but we're not the smartest fucking people in the world. But the one thing I can tell you about moto people, especially professionals, they don't like being given option. Like, they don't like giving ultimatums. Oh, you have to sign this, but you can't do this, or you have to do that. You will effectively kill both of your fucking sports, and they will tell you to fuck right off, and we will go do World Supercross, and we just won't race in America unless it's on our own terms. You start giving the top dudes ultimatums, you either do this or you do this. Motocross people don't like threats.
I mean, dude, all you got to look at is when you look at what the Live Golf people are paying out for those top guys to pay them to come play their series. On top of, they'll pay them the purse to win the series type stuff or whatever, or the golf rounds, whatever, however the fuck you call it, whatever. Anyway, I'm not golf savvy. Anyway,
whatever.
So you don't think that they want to have Chase Sexton? You don't think they want to have Cooper Webb, which we'll get to him in a minute? You don't think they want to have fucking Eli Tomac? Newsflash, they're paying Ken Roczen and Eli Tomac. Eli Tomac, again, we don't know. He just said on Pulp that, like, yep, just back up the money truck and dump it out. Ken Roxon's getting $750,000 to do 3 rounds in the first year. Yeah. So you don't think they're going to go after these other guys? And, oh, by the way, hey, we're going to pay you $5 million to come ride our series. You only have to race 12 times.
Yeah.
Or you go over here, you're going to make a couple $1,000,000. You're going to have to ride fucking, what is it, 28, 31 races? So I'm going to make half the money and I got to race 30 times, like 3 times as much? Yeah, I'm going to go over here.
Here's the thing that's going to start happening is you're going to see a lot of Americans, especially when they get used to doing the World Supercross and traveling in that sense, that a lot of guys, if you see some of these younger kids that start getting ultimatums and they don't feel like it's the right trajectory in their career path, they'll go do World Supercross. And I know that before this statement would never hold any weight, but now I feel like it's going to hold weight. If a lot of these dudes still want to ride outdoors, this will be a way to push guys over to racing GPs and just, hey, we're already traveling the country to ride fucking Supercross. We'll just go do fucking outdoors over there too.
They're not gonna race.
No, if what you're saying is true, I wholeheartedly disagree with you. There are a lot of dudes that still love to ride outdoors. If they're getting threats,
but they'll Cooper Webb it. They'll go ride it in their off week at a local race.
But there's a lot of dudes that are better outdoor riders that know that they can make more money riding GPs.
Well, yes, and there will be guys like that. There will be.
I'm not saying that
Freddie Norrens, that kind of stuff. But any of these guys that can ride Supercross worth a damn are gonna go do it. Here's the other thing too.
I think Chase Sexton might be your outlier.
I think it's only a matter of time before the GPs are affected by this too.
Nah. No, they won't be affected by it because there's teams that'll still pay them just as much money to ride GPs as the World Supercross teams will pay them. Like Claudio De Carli will pay his dues just as much.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that series has an issue too.
But their issues
because they charge more than Outdoors does to race it, and they don't pay out.
But their issue has been going on for a long time, and it's never been an issue.
It's
the only issue they have is that some of these countries they go to,
the top however many dudes didn't ride the qualifying race 3 rounds ago.
I know, but they still race.
That's a fucking issue.
It is an issue, but that's them.
Things are starting to come to a head, and when you see it. How long is it before they buy out either the MXGP series or the Outdoor series here? How long
over here? I don't know, but
how long is it before they buy before the Saudis decide they want to buy one of those too and do something?
I don't know about here, but Giuseppe will not allow. He won't sell out. He won't sell out.
If he won't sell out, then at some point, I mean, look, Davey Coombs can say whatever the fuck he wants. He's a hooker for money like the rest of us.
Stuff over here. I can tell you this right now with certainty. We know it's going to be affected. But the GPs, you got to remember, their shit, they've been dealing with that a lot longer than we have. The Grand Prix are not going anywhere. The Grand Prix outdate everything. You got to remember, the Grand Prix have been going on since the invention of motocross.
Yep, but at some point, the guys are going to want to get paid.
They get paid. They get paid handsomely. You don't think Jeremy Sewer makes as much money as like some of our top dudes over? He's making like $2 million a year. And he's not even a championship guy. Tim Geiser probably makes $4 million. Hurlings, I don't fucking know how much money he's making. He's making more money than probably everybody because he's got a lot of side deals. The top dudes over there get paid way more money than our guys do.
Well,
Paul Jonas probably makes $1 million.
But that's also why there's 15 dudes on the gate.
But see, that's the thing, though. You got to remember, that doesn't matter to them.
I'm just saying, I think it's only a matter of time before that series gets affected also.
But okay, so my question to you is, how is it going to be affected though?
I don't know,
because it won't be affected.
Sure. I don't have a good answer for that.
It won't be affected in the way that ours do.
This is going to trickle down. Look at what it's doing to our series already. Feld isn't even affected by this. And look at what's happening.
But our series though,
like literally, this series is going on after, completely separate.
But see, here's the thing though. You could say that Davey Coombs and Luengo are one and the same. But the difference is that the guys over here, we know this for a fact. We can assume, we have an idea of what GP guys make, but nobody's ever there's only a few people over here that have ever seen actual contracts. But we know that guys over here don't get paid what they're worth.
Yeah.
Over there, yes, they're not getting paid purse money, but their teams shell out an assload of money to them.
But I'm not talking about the guys on the teams.
Who are you talking about then?
I'm talking about the privateer dudes over there too. Like,
but the privateer stuff doesn't. I've told you this before. It doesn't exist over there. There's no real such thing as privateers. The privateers are guys starting their own teams.
And let's even go a step further here. You've already said these teams are going to get filled by Europe guys also.
Yeah.
Like, this is not going to be a strictly American series.
Yeah.
How long is it before they throw so much money at a Tim Geiser, at a Jeffrey Hurlings, whatever, that they can't help but walk away? And then when I think you start to see that, like, those guys over there, too, are also going to realize I can make the same money, or maybe even a little less, and I only got to do 12 races.
But their mindset is a lot different than our guys over here. Our guys are used to the glitz
money makes the monkey dance everywhere, dude. Like,
I just don't know if that's...
Don't get me wrong, you're going to get a few that the money isn't going to make the monkey dance. That's fine. That's going to happen.
But you got to also remember, too, guys over there, because they know that it's going to take them a lot longer in Supercross because they didn't grow up riding it. You also got to factor in, too, the money thing is big, and we know that holds weight. But a lot of those guys are not going to go from winning all the time to being a 5th, 6th place guy. Like Tim Geiser, you think Tim Geiser would like going from winning 4 fucking world championships to now he's just a 5th place guy?
Is he getting paid world championship money still?
I don't think Tim Geiser, though, we know his background. That's a thing with him. I don't think money is a big deal to him.
He's got titles.
Yeah, it is.
As long as he's still getting money.
But he's used to winning.
As long as he's still getting money, and if he doesn't have to... I mean, dude, you have to get it down to the nuts and bolts. If I don't have to work as much and I'm going to get paid the same, I'm going to not work as much.
I just don't know. Like
it's
I said,
that simple.
I think I have to disagree with you.
I'm a worker, and even I'm like, dude, if I'm digging ditches and all of a sudden they're like, hey, by the way, you can use this backhoe, you're going to get paid the same as what you were getting paid to shovel the fucking thing. and you can work half the time and do twice as much work, well, sweet, then that's what I'm doing. I have a worker bee mentality.
I just don't know if that holds true with those guys over there, man.
Dude, yeah, I'm not sure that we're going to see it in, say, the next 5 years really affect it, but it's going to trickle to the point that it's going to affect it.
Man,
I will say that the GPs is the last series that's going to be affected, and obviously we see that because they're not making any sweeping changes here for the first year, but it's going to get affected down the road.
I think it'll be affected. I'm not saying it won't be, but I just don't think it's going to ever affect the top guys. I just don't think so because, once again, those guys are used to winning, and I don't think that they can accept going from winning all the time to now we're getting beat all the time. Like,
people do it all the time. Look at us over here.
Hurlings doesn't. Hurlings will not accept being just go from winning all the time to being a fifth place guy. That's not in his DNA. Like, I agree with you. If you make just as much money, maybe a little bit less to doing less work, yes, everybody's going to go to it.
Hurlings only had, but again,
Hurlings doesn't like to lose.
Hurlings isn't in the conversation. Hurlings has openly said he's looking to sign one more contract for 2 to 3 years, and then by then he's going to be whatever.
It might affect.
And so then he's going to be out.
I don't think it'll affect the current top 450 guys. It might be this new wave.
But who do you think they're going to sign from over there? Is it going to be Fevra? Is it going to be Timmy G?
Like within the next year? I don't think it'll be Tim Geiser. I think that Jeremy Sewer, I think Prado, and I think Fevra are and Maxim Renault are the 4 guys that are in consideration for it. I think those are the 4 dudes that'll be like, yep, we'll go into it because Renault really likes Supercross. Fevra, I disagree that he should ever ride a Supercross track again. I just don't want to see him snap his femur in half.
Yeah.
Sewer, Supercross fits his fucking style. And who was the other one that I just said?
Prado?
Prado, I just think he's all about the glitz and the glamour, and he's the one exception that's like...
He is one of those guys that's going to get paid the same to ride less.
Yes, because he will... He's always wanted to come to America, so he's expressed... So, yeah, like, I don't disagree, and it's going to affect it. The GPs will be one of those where it affects it the least. It'll affect it, but it'll be
the slowest rollout to affect it.
Yes.
So, okay. Now, in talking about... Two, with this, you're going to have to sign for over here, or you're going to have to sign for over there. They're not going to get to commingle. Have you heard about the Cooper Webb thing? And this was
I haven't heard.
This was brought up on Jace's podcast. So shout out to Gypsy Tales and Sleater and Jace.
I saw a thumbnail that they were talking about. Yeah, like 500,000 or something.
So Cooper has been offered $500,000 to go race those races this year.
Those 3 rounds. Mm-hmm. From who, though? There's no KTM.
Series. The series.
But who's he going to ride for?
I don't know.
There's no Austrian brand.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. So, but I think, and again, they're a little bit fluid over there.
The MDK
with stuff. But I think MDK is a ride whatever you want type deal.
Okay.
So, and again, too, I also think that even though they said, oh, you have to have teams, I think they do. They also did say at some point in something I heard that there's wild card spots.
So here's the thing, though.
So I believe. But, okay. KTM told him no.
Yeah, because they still technically, I hate to use this, but they still own him.
Yes.
And they can tell him no.
Yes.
And you can't breach the contract.
So in this is, okay, you're getting to my point here. Okay. This was brought up on Gypsy's podcast, and I want to get your opinion on this. So KTM tells him no. Mm-hmm. You entered into a contract with us. You're contracted to ride these races. We have even let you out of some of your races because he was supposed to race outdoors. Mm-hmm. We let you go on maternity leave, whatever. So you have a contract.
That'll never get old.
But at the same time, we all know these teams. If you're not doing well, clippy whenever, and we're not fucking paying you, get fucking lost. So, yes, there's a contract that says this, and you entered that contract, and you signed that contract, so you're technically liable for that contract. But technically, the team's liable. But technically, at any point, that team can clip you without voiding the contract, or I mean, I guess you can take them to court, but whatever. So my question to you is this right or is this wrong for them to say nope?
No, because they're contradicting themselves.
Yes.
So here's my question, and is that what you thought I was going to say?
I mean, I didn't know what you were going to say.
Okay.
I mean, I figured we're more of a rider-based show, so I figured you were going to be more rider-based of like he should be allowed to go do it.
So here's my question to you is, okay, $500,000. I don't really know what Cooper's making.
Probably a
KTM.
couple million.
Okay, so
I,
probably
I would say two.
Two. Okay, so 2, and then obviously bonus.
Yep.
So he goes and gets paid. He fucking rolls the dice and goes, "Fuck it, I'm gonna breach my contract. Whatever happens, happens." And they just like, "Oh, they were just bullshitting." They, whatever. Goes and makes $500,000 for 3 rounds. Whatever happens. Here's my question to you. We already know he was going Supercross only.
Yeah.
He comes back though. Anaheim 1, January, whatever it is, 2023. Doesn't have a ride. What does he do? Does he say, "I just made $500,000"?
No. That he's not one of those guys that would be a thing.
So what do you think would happen? That's my question.
He would be riding something else.
Very
easily, dude.
No, I'm not saying you wouldn't have a ride, but that's my question to you is I'm answering your question with another question. Because I think that's what he should do. Because I think the whole KTM thing is going to be a fucking mess.
Do you know how bad KTM looks if they take their 2-time champion and say, "Yeah, get fucking lost"?
Do you think they really care, though, at this point? I mean, they
need to care.
They look like fools.
They need to care. They look like fools now anyway.
Yeah.
They need to care.
Oh, yeah. No, I
mean,
agree.
they can do that.
Yeah.
And all of their brand recognition in the industry goes bye-bye. Like, all of their brand credibility goes bye-bye.
I think he should roll the dice and say, "Fuck it, I'll go make $500,000 no matter what I place." But then it's like, what does he do when he comes back for January, whatever, 2023?
This begs the question, though, too, of, okay, what do guys' contracts look like going forward this next year?
Yeah. I would say because
do their new contracts have in it that they cannot go ride World Supercross? Do their new
there's
contracts?
There's going to be a clause.
There's going to be
a clause. Look, I don't know.
This is going to get interesting.
It just, oh my man. And then, yeah, it's going to be very interesting for the top guys. I think the mid-level dudes that go over there and do it, that, throw their name in there.
There's no problem there.
But the top guys, this is going to get real fucking dicey moving forward.
Really quick.
It's going to get real dicey for some guys, and I just really wonder. And see, here's the thing, too. I hope for some of these top dudes, they really trust their fucking agents, man. Because we've been critical of agents on the show, but I think now more than ever, this is going to be a time where you better have an agent that you trust. Hey, good thing for fucking Lawrence Boys and Joe Schmoda and Chance Hymas. They got a badass agent in Lucas Myrtle. But look, we know there are some guys out there that we know their agents don't have their best interest. Mm-hmm. And you could get fucked real easy.
So your thought is Coop should just buy his own bike and go do it?
I think you should.
Interesting. I don't know. Because I'm on the fence with that because I agree there's a contract, but at the same time, these teams can say "fuck you" at any time. The contracts are really about worth as much as the paper they're written on.
Fuck these teams. Like, they're so fucking full of themselves. It's such a bunch of bullshit. I mean, I've seen it enough. And like, you could even go back to like the whole thing with Stu and you listen to with JGO that year.
My only thing right now is like, dude, they did give you all summer off. Like they did go. You said, "Hey, I don't want to ride. My chick's having a kid. Like, I don't want to do outdoors, whatever." And they were like, "Okay, that's fine. Like, we'll still pay you, whatever." But
here's the thing too. You could also look at it from Cooper Webb's point of view and go, "Guys, I brought you 2 fucking championships in 2 years, and you can't get your bullshit together. When you're at that level, okay, when you won it in 2019, you were like, okay, you know what? Nobody saw that coming. Like, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
Coop can say whatever he wants. He didn't fucking even see that coming.
No.
But then he goes, and I know that points-wise he wasn't there, but you could say that racing-wise, 2020, had he not gotten hurt in, what was it, Texas?
Yeah.
He would have had a shot to win that title. He didn't. Eli won it, whatever. 2021, he wins the 2021 title. So you win 2 titles in 3 years, and then you have an off year because of the bike, whatever. But you can also go...
It's because of the bike. And, by the way, I heard... So, when did him and Burner stop working together?
Middle of Supercross.
I heard they fired Burner after round 1. I don't remember if it was Jace's show or somebody else, but somebody slipped and said, yeah, him and Burner quit working together after round 1.
Wouldn't surprise me. So, yeah, because Burner
and
probably
it's like,
called him out on his
and
bullshit.
it's like, wait, time out. Round 1? He got second at the first round.
Yeah,
and you fired the trainer then?
It's probably because Burner fucking called him on his bullshit.
This was something else they were talking about on Gypsy here. These teams, they tell you the trainer you have to go work with, and then you have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. And they made the thing with fucking football.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, they say, "Oh, you got to go work with these offensive coordinators." He doesn't have to fucking pay for that.
No, the only time he has to pay for it is if it's like a personal
mental coach. Now we are I think kind of switching at the KTM brand because they bought into the Baker's factory. So I don't think that I'm not sure how that works.
But to my point with the Coop thing though, where I was getting with that is look guys, like I brought you 2 championships.
Yeah.
I bought you recognition that you haven't had since Dungey left.
Yep.
This fucking team looks like a shit show. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if I'm on this team and I'm looked at as one of the best in the world at Supercross, you need to get your shit together.
It's not a
like
good
that's
look.
the thing is you keep bringing up Tom Brady, which is always a great reference in football. You wouldn't have fucking Tom Brady, and I'm gonna date this before the Buccaneers with the New England Patriots, and go, yeah, Tom Brady, we have the all-time greatest quarterback or whatever, and then we're fucking picking 5th round fucking wide receivers. And I know,
Retired guys.
yeah, and I know the football people probably get in here and jab me for it because I know it's happened. There's exceptions. But it goes, you're not going to have the best quarterback in football of all time, and then your whole fucking offensive line, that's a better example, your whole offensive line is a bunch of undrafted fucking free agents. And I'm not comparing AP and Volan to that, but I'm saying is how KTM has been this year as a whole.
Yeah.
It's been so unorganized. And if I'm Coop going, look, what the fuck, dude? Like, I made your team look good.
The
and
whole
you look
thing
like shit
is
show.
they're all in on what's it called? They're all in on MotoGP.
Yeah.
That's it. They have transitioned.
Then they failed Cooper Webb.
They were all in on Moto for a long time here. They've won everything they want to win with that, and now they're all in on.
Well, yeah, I mean, KTM is literally, actually, you know what? And it might happen this next year. They still haven't won a 250 Supercross title.
Yeah, I don't think
Since
they
Marv,
care. I don't
since
think they
Marv.
care about. Well, so they have won one.
But they haven't won a 250 outdoor title. And that's what I was saying. They might win it this next year. We'll get to that in a minute.
Maybe.
Maybe. That's why I'm saying they might. But yeah, I don't know. Then they failed Coop. They failed Cooper.
Yeah,
They failed him.
it's just interesting. I don't know.
Look, you know what, Coop? Go take the fucking $500,000 for riding 3 rounds, because guess what? It don't really matter what you get. You're still getting paid.
Yeah.
Go fucking make the $500,000 for doing nothing.
Yep.
Because let's be real, I don't think his next season next year is going to be that great.
No,
It's
I don't
not going
think
to be
so
great
either.
until he goes to star in 2024.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. So, all right. Also with the World Supercross, Dino has signed for that.
Yep.
So that's cool. So we are getting some international flair there and some
That whole
names.
team is international with
Yeah.
Kenny, Dino, Wilson Todd, and Max Anstey.
Yep.
Whole
So-
team's international.
And so have you? So I did hear that Brayton has. They've announced him with Moto Concepts, but I don't know that he's actually signed to that team yet. Because they're having the Supercross in what's it called again?
Geneva?
No,
Or no, Mercy?
No, in Australia. They're doing the
yeah.
Supercross series again this year, and he's the defending champ because they didn't have it last year. So
Yeah, because that team-
So I heard he's trying to go to Uriev's team
Yeah.
to be able to do the Australian series as well as this.
Because that team basically looks like Freeze and Cole Seeley on 250s, and then it would have been him and Oldenburg 450.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's interesting. That I heard that this week. Yeah. So like I said, Dino's in for World Supercross, and I think that's it that I have for World Supercross. So
Yeah.
moving on to some silly season stuff here.
Had some really good news this week.
Marv is signed.
That's my good news.
Okay.
That's my fucking good news.
Supercross only. But I heard on Pulp on Monday that he had an offer from KTM for outdoors. I'm not sure. I think it was for a 250 deal actually, and he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, because that's fucking stupid.
I don't know if he had a 450 deal too. I can't remember what he said,
That's
but
a
he
slap
did
in
have
the-
a deal to ride outdoors.
That's a slap in the fucking face. Yeah, Marv, we're going to let you ride a 250. What?
I don't know.
It's a slap in the fucking
Well-
face. I don't care any way they try to
Dude,
spin it.
do you want to hear more of a slap in the face? His 2023 deal has been held up by Dunge. They were waiting to see if Dunge wanted to come back and do everything next year.
Because I know there's been talk of that. He's coming back.
As of right now, nothing has been signed. AKA, I don't like his wife's not stoked about him riding.
No, she
period.
was not stoked about him coming back at all.
And when he talked, somebody asked him about it last week and on something I was listening to, and he basically said, he's like, yeah, if we do come back, maybe it was Michael Lindsay on Vital. He's like, yeah, maybe if we do come back, he's like, we're gonna have to move, and I don't think she wants to move.
No, she probably doesn't want to move. Where do they live? Are they still
They're in Minnesota.
Yeah, she probably doesn't want to move to California. She been there, done that shit.
No,
Or Florida.
he was talking Florida.
Still probably don't want to move to fucking Florida.
Yeah, so that's what's been holding it up. From what I understand, they were
Dungy.
waiting on Dunge to see what he signed for next year. And from what I understand now, because Marv is signed for SX only, that's fine. But there is talk that Dunge is going to come back and ride outdoors next year.
I will tell you this. How I have been pleasantly surprised at certain rounds for outdoors. Giving Dungy all the credit in the world. He is obviously one of the greats. I will tell you this right now. His transition back into racing it's definitely going to be a lot easier for outdoors than going back into Supercross.
Yeah, he should not go back and ride Supercross.
No. Not to say that he would get hurt or anything stupid,
No.
but he's not going to be where he's at in Supercross, where he is in outdoors right now.
Nope,
He's
not
going
at
to go
all.
from being a 4 to 6 guy outdoors, where he's going to be luckily if he gets top 10 in Supercross.
So at least Marv has a deal.
And I'm
From
happy
what I
about that.
understand, he's been testing.
I wish it
He's been
wasn't.
testing production stuff for KTM.
Wish it wasn't with KTM.
Yeah,
Whatever.
me too. I'm kind of sad about that because I'm like, dude, they have been slapping you in the face here.
Go to a team that'll fucking appreciate you.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, it's ridiculous.
But where does he go?
That's that, and I know that that's a problem.
That's the big question.
Yeah.
Where
But
would he go?
It's just,
And then on top of that, like he's so late in his career, it's like, dude, so what's he gonna go somewhere else for 1 year? And the bike's
How
not gonna be
ridiculous
set up
is
the
it,
way he
though?
wants. Like,
how ridiculous is it though that a guy that won a fucking 450 Supercross main and was pretty much top 5 the entire year can't fucking find a ride somewhere?
has the only win in the U.S. for KTM.
Yeah. How?
Dude,
That
it's
just
stupid.
shows the state of this fucking sport about how
Yeah.
dumb some of these fucking team owners are.
And this is why World Supercross is changing the industry as we know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. no.
Okay, so last thing I have here as far as silly season stuff goes, Colt Nichols
Out of his star contract.
is out of Star.
Going to Rocky Mountain KTM probably.
Is that what it is?
Mark McKenzie, there's no affiliation, I think, with Butler Brothers because
No.
Mark McKenzie.
No. Somebody this week made that very clear.
Yeah, so Mark McKenzie was the money guy, which is, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to assume because of the different last name, Ethan Lane's stepdad.
Yes.
Because it's 83 compound. I didn't realize that, like, it was his stepdad. I didn't realize that Mark McKenzie was Ethan Lane's stepdad.
Okay.
I didn't know the connection there. But his stepdad. So Colt, because he was supposed to come back at Unadilla.
Yeah.
Now that's not happening. He parted ways with Star. I guess he rode a little bit, and like it didn't go well. Some of the injuries still affected him. But the last thing I heard is that he's probably going to be on whatever that team looks like, the Rocky Mountain team.
Interesting.
So I'm going to assume that that's going to be a good transition over to World Supercross.
Yeah,
We know
probably.
Colt's a Supercross guy.
Yep.
So I think that that's really cool. Good for Colt. I'm really glad that Forrest Butler is going to have nothing to do with that team. Because we know that Colt, outdoors he's good. He's average.
Yeah.
But we know that he shines in Supercross. So
So here's a good question I just thought about. So we're talking about the World Supercross versus the American Series stuff here, okay?
Yeah.
So if they're making guys sign these contracts that say they have to race the American Series, they cannot go race World Supercross. What's Genova going to do? Because do you think they're just going to let Genova walk in there and be like, "Yeah, we're here to ride. We're here to ride"? And then if they do, does that trigger a thing of like, now we're going to get some more private teams because these top dudes that are going to want to go over there and ride World Supercross are also going to want to ride American Supercross. So then we're going to have top privateer teams with top fucking dudes on it.
So you've already seen kind of a changing of the guard as far as the private teams go. I know that they haven't won any championships yet, but you're looking at what
Well,
Genova's done.
RCH.
No, well, yeah.
Not indoors, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But you're looking at what Genova's done with Moto Concepts.
Yep.
You're looking at what Club is starting to become.
Yeah.
It is a big deal that they signed J-Mart. Whatever people's opinions of, it's a big fucking deal. That's the biggest signing they've ever had.
Yep.
And even though, once again, you're not talking about the results, you're seeing that the media and the press they're getting, you're seeing what Hep Suzuki is doing.
Yep.
You're kind of starting to see these teams, it's slowly starting to become more and more prevalent.
Yep.
I think that Genova will not allow Feld and Davey Coombs to say, fuck off, you have to pick one or the other. Because Genova will go, well, then, you know what? I'm taking a fucking bunch of dudes that'll go ride for my team. I'm taking them with me. Because I don't think as much as Genova has changed things, because that's the thing. Genova is the first private owner in a very long time that made a 450 team, took a guy to a victory. Because you got to think, he built his team way back in the late, 2010-ish when he was Yamaha. And then Brayton, I know, was, whatever. You talk about RCH, and you can talk about what Bobby Regan has done with Star.
Yep.
But it's like Genova did something with a team that had never really been done before. And everybody talks about JGR, but it's like, well, JGR, you can say, but they were getting help from Yamaha and all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
I just don't see how Mike Genova will. He's either going to say, hey, you're giving me an option, well, then I'm going to give you an ultimatum. You either allow me in or I'm taking my ball and I'm going over here.
Yep. It's a super interesting thing to see how this is going to play out because, like I said, I could see them getting shitty, which is super weird. The super weird thing to me is that Feld is getting shitty because it's like it doesn't fucking affect you.
Yeah.
All this is going to do is grow you.
It's almost like they're being proactive, and they're trying to get there before it actually can affect them. But I don't see it I didn't see it affecting Feld for 2-3 years.
What's it going to affect anyway? The series at a completely different time. Why would it affect you?
I don't know what's going. There's got to, man, and we'll never know. There's something more going on with this because like Feld doing business with Davey also is real fucking.
Been going on for years.
Yeah, whatever.
Years.
So, honestly, it's real shady to me. Like why?
Why
would Dave Prater and Gendro and the powers that be at Feld want to have anything to do with a guy that has essentially trashed your fucking series for?
I mean, how many years ago was it that we couldn't even mention Supercross at an outdoor event?
I know. Yeah, I know. And
Yeah.
here's the thing, too. Supercross still really doesn't mention outdoors. I mean, I know that they've made comments, but that's the thing, though. That shows you something is going on here. Something is really going on here behind the scenes, and I'm really curious to see what it is. Because why would a big corporation like Feld give two shits about what Davey Coombs is like?
I don't know. I mean, it's obvious that they're worried.
But it's weird though because once again, you're right. It's not going to affect them for
Like,
a few
what did
years down the
they
road.
think? World Supercross is going to grow to 20-something rounds? I mean, maybe, but that's fucking weird,
I mean,
too.
the GPs are 20 rounds.
I mean, yeah, but that's weird, too. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Dude, this is the Saudi group. This is something. We're on new grounds right now.
We are.
have never... Look, Feld is big. Feld is fucking huge. But the Saudi group, like, transcends that. And we, as a sport, have never had this, like, money backed.
I'm getting so tired of hearing, too, that, like, why would they spend this money? Why would they spend this money? Look, what they're spending on World Supercross is a drop in the bucket.
Look, they find that money in their couch pocket.
They pay those golfers
hundreds
of millions each. And
Yeah.
you think they're worried about $50 million bucks?
And once again, you also talk about, too, the guys that are putting this together. You know, why are they doing this? Well, why the fuck did Adam Bailey see a series in the V8 Supercar series that was dying,
Yeah.
and he turned it into hundreds of millions of... Because they can. They
multiple times the money of those investments of those team owners in that series.
Yeah, and everybody in that fucking series says, thank you.
So, yeah.
So, not that this is new. We've talked about this, but it was confirmed yesterday at Lommel. Tom Viel, it is official. He is KTM next year. He is supposedly going to be riding Supercross. I'm going to assume East Coast. So, it was official yesterday. They made a signing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they made it official. They did an Instagram post.
Interesting, because I heard there was a slight outside possibility if he loses this title, he can stay there.
Yeah, no, it was official yesterday.
Interesting.
They did the whole Instagram post. Pitt Meyer was in it. I didn't read the post, but I saw the photos. They made it a big deal. It is official.
Okay.
He is KTM USA next yeyear. I'm going to assume 250 East because they want to give him some time, which I know that we said we weren't going to talk about MXON, but actually leads me to believe that he might not be their 250 pick because he might literally end this championship
and then go
and then come over here to start training, which France will be fine because they'll have Benestant, that dude who's basically probably taking his spot. So it's not really affecting them. But I started thinking about that yesterday. I was like, he might not actually go do MXON. He might want as much time as possible.
Yeah, maybe.
And also the team, here's the thing too. Even though Vial, he's French, but he speaks English. He's a smart kid. He's got the flash of America in him. They're going to have to learn because this is like a kid that has never, as far as I know, ever been to America.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much, conversations he's had with the U.S. team over here. So that's another thing, too. They're going to need as much time as possible to be like, hey, dude, we need to get to know you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he might not even ride MXON. He might just say, hey, man, I'd love to ride for the country, but I need to start learning Super. And he has some experience with it, so, it's not getting thrown into the water.
Yeah.
But he's going to need time to develop, and they're going to need to develop that bike, because that's another thing, too, we haven't really talked about. He's going to go from riding, the fucking dream bike of all dream 250s to...
A stock one.
A stock 250. So, but I thought I'd mention that. It's pretty cool. It's good that they finally got it out of the way, so it's not going to... But that's why I made the comment that Max Volan really needs to keep building.
Yeah. So...
Also, did you say you had something about Justin Cooper? You said you'd been hearing things?
So
because I heard that might not be a possibility.
We asked him anything for next year,
yeah.
And he said I'll be with Star. That was all he said, but he said, yeah, I'll be with Star.
See, Michael Lindsay, when he did his whole report, like, he had heard rumblings that might not be true. There's some talk.
I
I
don't
guess
know.
the 450 thing, like we had all heard.
That's like the biggest question here, I think, right now with next year is like, where the fuck is Justin Cooper going to be?
And that's the thing is, too, it's like, okay, now it's official. He's 450, whether he likes it or not.
Oh,
But
yeah.
It's like, if he's not on Star,
Which we each made a comment about that in his show, too, of like, he didn't think that they would actually stick to their guns, and they sure shit are.
I mean, they did. So you know what? And we had talked about this, and we are good for Feld for sticking
Yeah.
to their. Good for them.
Yep.
But or the AMA, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Whatever. MX Sports. But that does make me wonder if he's not with Star next year, who the fuck is he going to ride for?
I don't know.
And I think Colt. And you know what? Good on fucking Bobby Regan and everybody at Star.
For letting Colt out
And
early.
same thing with J Mart, and not like getting all butthurt about it. Because I'm
Yeah.
here to tell you, no offense to these other teams like Mitch Payton. I have so much respect for that dude. No offense to Troy Lee. No offense to some of these other teams. Some of these other teams would have not. They'd be like, know what? Nope. Sorry, can't do it, and then be public about it. Good on Bobby Regan, and this just shows like the level that he's like, hey, you know what? Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
I respect that a lot. That is super fucking cool, and especially, and I know people are like, well, you know, Colt Nichols won them a championship. I don't think Bobby Regan gives a shit. He could have just been
Nah.
like, sorry, I don't care. Like, I have a bunch of dudes that won titles for me. I think that's really cool on him. But yeah, to my thing about Jay Coop, if he's not on Star, who the fuck is he gonna ride for?
I don't know.
Because there's like, we've talked about this. There's no spots.
Well, there's that new Ethan Lane team or whatever, or whatever.
Him and Cole.
Yeah.
Teammates again.
Teammates again.
No, I don't really have anything else. I mean, no.
All right.
No, I don't.
I don't have anything else either. I'm out of stuff on my
that
list
was a
here.
lot. That was a lot of shit. The only thing I heard is Sexton got asked again about 250s for MXON. And he's like, no, not happening.
I don't know. So, all right. Well, this has been show 210 here. We're off for the next couple weeks because we got a break until Unadilla.
Oh.
No, I don't want to pick winners.
No, I'm not picking winners. That's way too far away. Do you think Kenny, with the level that Chase and Eli are at right now, we know how dominant Kenny can be. Do you think that he can match that again? Because last time I checked, he's won the last 3 times we've gone there.
I don't know. Kyroli's coming back too.
A lot of people are coming back. Dylan's coming back.
Dylan's
He's
coming back.
Dino's
Kyroli,
coming
yeah.
back. Kyroli. Holy shit. It's a new series.
I think we're going to get to see Kyroli and Iron Man.
Oh.
I heard he's doing the last 4. So that'll be exciting. See that 222.
It'd be really cool to just... Like,
'Cause
hey, man, can you say Moto Aftermath Show? Can I also talk to your wife for like 2
Your wife's
seconds?
awesome. Your kid, I heard, is really cool.
Yeah. I mean,
So.
dude, his dad's cool, so why not?
Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't have an answer for that. I
How
don't know.
wild would that be? If
What?
Kenny, with the way
Wins?
Chase and Eli are riding right
And
now,
he wins?
and Kenny just goes 1-1.
Could be.
I mean, he did it to Dylan last year.
Yeah. I don't know.
It'd be like, wow, Kenny, just do you want the whole fucking series to be Unadilla?
Can we just ride Unadilla 12 times?
Just 12 fucking times.
Sweet.
No. That's the only thing I have left. That just, it interests me because it's
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure he's won the last 3 times we've been there. So it's like, if he can up that pace yet again with the way that Eli and Chase are riding right now, that would be super fucking impressive.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. We'll find out. Last year he went 2 seconds faster in practice, so.
It's Ken Roxon style.
Fucking Ken Roxon.
So.
All right, anyways.
All right,
I'm
this has
done.
been show 210. Thanks to our presenting sponsors, Energy Fuel, Premier Custom Trailers, TLR Coatings. Did you finish your Energy Fuel, by the way?
I did.
I pretty much, I was going to say I got
did.
half a swallow in the bottom, so
Go get yourself some.
go
of
get
it.
yourself some at CoachRobStore.com. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Like I said, we're going to be off the next couple of weeks here, so we have no show until after Unadilla. But thanks for tuning in. We'll see everybody next time.
I